Hey Rob, they can't hear us. Oh, this is why we
Oh
only
boy, yeah,
do it
this is
live,
I
so they
was
can have the funny
this is
stuff
why I
at the
don't
end.
do these things live. That's funny.
Yeah,
Okay, all
we'll
right.
at some point we'll do a thing breaking them all down.
I've done this a couple of times. All right. Hey everybody, Kuro the Artist here, and welcome to the first exclusive Patreon/membership stream of December 2024. We are breaking down the Brainstorm and Beyond episode. Now, we've done a couple of these before for a few episodes in the past. If you are a patron or a member watching this live, feel free to try to interact with us in the chat and ask us questions. We may not be able to answer every single question, especially if they pertain to future spoilers, but feel free to reach out to us if you're here or like in the comments after the upload. But for now, we're just going to run through this episode and, break down some behind the scenes facts, some special lore and detail that we may not have been able to get into the episode, but have thought of just on our own time, and maybe seed some surprises for future episodes. Treading lightly, of course. And I am here with Mr. O.R. Ash, showrunner and voice of Horus. How you doing, buddy?
Me,
It
I have
him.
crab shirt.
That's a wonderful crab shirt. What do you got there? Humanity evolve into crab?
It says reject humanity, evolve into crab,
Mm.
which contradicts the intro of this video, but like,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah. This episode's Horus pre-portal joke is a bit of a thinker, but I like it. I feel like that's kind of on brand for Horus. Like, he's definitely going to say some things like people might not get, but him being Horus, he's like, oh, they'll think this is hilarious. All you need to know is...
Oh, I'm the funniest person in the room.
Yeah.
He's the only person in the room. Yeah, no. So actually, quick fun fact with the Horus jokes, it's technically always the last thing written for an episode because it's not written. I intentionally wait until the actual recording session of him to come up with a joke, and I just like do a handful of random things on the spot. Instead of the carcinization joke, the only other idea I had was a Mr. Krabs joke or quote, which was wasting time is like wasting money, and that's just wrong. But that literally had nothing to do with the episode.
Right.
So, like,
And on that note, a couple of folks were surprised we didn't make a Mr. Krabs joke in this episode.
yeah, I am too.
I feel like we did talk about that, didn't we? Like, I feel like I have this recollection from like months ago. I was like, okay, we gotta weave Mr. I can turn Ash up. Thank you for the notification. I remember bringing it up at least, but I guess it just escaped us. I do remember there was one I thought of myself as I was editing that I ended up not doing. Is a couple of times when you see the cerebral crustaceans scurry across the screen. I was going to make it I was gonna make it the Mr. Krabs sound effect, but it was always during like informative parts of the episode, and I felt like if you heard that sound effect, you'd be a little distracted and like might not like absorb what Horus is talking about. And I was just like, yeah, so you gotta pick and choose your battles. So like the Mr. Krabs sound effect wouldn't have worked as a joke because it'd be distracting, but
it was like after the fact, I like watching the premiere, I was like, oh, like we could have had a Mr. Krabs joke. I could have done a thing with Tamatoa from Moana. Like, I kept thinking of so many different crab things as jokes during the premiere. I'm like, why didn't I do any of this? I think I was so like in this episode because it was a different think process because of how the plot takes over the documentary. I was in like a different thinking mindset while writing it, so I didn't have as many references on the brain because I was like, I really want the plot stuff to punch hard. And
yes,
in a way it was like, we can't be funny this episode, there are crabs here. We have to make it so serious, and I use the term as loosely as possible.
But even then we couldn't resist. I mean, it is Horus after all. So
yeah,
there's a little bit of goofiness in there, but I mean, this is definitely the most plot heavy episode of And Beyond. We did advertise it as we did a significant misdirect where we wanted to present it as if it was going to be the whole system to subvert the expectations when Kyber shows up. But we will be putting out more information on the other planets. There's already one short currently at the time of this broadcast talking about Fry Guy. Is the Ben transformation name of the species, the Zap ones you see.
Paraclept.
The Paraclept, yes. And there'll be more to come. So you will learn about all the species that you see in this episode. But we took a bit of a gamble with the misdirect, but I still feel like it was worth the experiment. You know, like yeah, you got to shake up people's expectations every now and then. But without further ado, and one last thing I do want to preface this, not to push this lengthy introduction too long, is the bulk of this episode was made a couple of months ago, but the final scene involving Dards and Horus and Psychobos was made like 24 hours before the broadcast.
Yeah,
I underestimated the amount of time it would take. It was mostly like a Premiere thing, like Adobe Premiere. I ended up having to animate each character in their own project file and render and export them as a transparent video, which took time, and then put them back into the sequence and animate it all that way. So there's a couple of pretty interesting animation errors that I want to point out, which it feels like things come full circle. You know, I'm in my breakdowns talking about like, how could this have happened? Like this animation error of all things, and here I am on the other side. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's how.
I saw one during the premiere, and I'm like, how did he miss that? What? How did we miss that one?
Yeah. In fact, one of them is like right now, the very first 2 seconds. This is actually the first frame of the episode. It starts with a black screen. So like if you played on, it goes by so fast, but like that right there, like it's starting with a black screen, complete accident.
That's how you know it's a plot episode.
Yeah.
Only start with a black screen.
It's a very minuscule thing, but it's already set in the pretense of like, oh boy, this could have used another watch through and such. But yeah, are you ready to jump on in, or do you have anything else you want to? I'm ready. Let's do it.
Good evening, extranet and multi-dimensional travelers. Welcome back to And Beyond, where we plunge into the void and explore ever-expanding multiverse. I am your host, the R300 Orion IT Systems Model V906.
Already an editing thing.
Yeah.
This is a new space texture background than what we normally use.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, I was making the video for the Horus contest winner announcement, and showing like little clips of it to Rob, and he's like, "Hey, I like that space thing more than the one we use. Where'd you get it?"
Yeah.
I'm like, Vectis?
I've been using I think one or two different space. I think I changed it once, but more or less like I've tried to use the same space textures in And Beyond, and I saw the one he was using. I was like, that looks so much better than what I'm using. Can I have that? Yeah, so we have it's just something we found off of Vecteezy. But interesting enough, something I did completely reuse is this entire sequence is reused from the last episode, the Wrath episode.
Horus's like
all of his animation. I think I did this once or twice, but more or less I always have to animate it not from scratch, but like I have to rebuild the Horus puppet and do everything just for timing. But this one just worked out. In fact, the whole intro audio is from the Wrath episode too. It's not until he floats over is it new audio. Like you can almost hear it. Like listen to like.
Explore ever expand.
Oh, sorry, I turned it down because I was afraid it was too loud. I think I turned it down too much.
Multiverse. Welcome back to And Beyond, where we plunge into the void and explore ever-expanding multiverse. I am your host, the R300 Orion IT.
You can hear your enthusiasm change.
Yeah, no, I think the only other episode that I've like noticed that super strongly with is the Methanos episode, because that was like, yeah, we're just gonna use half of the intro from the Terradino and then jump in, but it changes so drastically.
It does, yeah. And since then I was like, I can't keep doing this. But this time around I was like, I'm gonna try to get away with it. Like,
yeah,
there's
honestly,
too much to do.
I do want to get to a point that with the Horus intro, it is like we can just use the exact audio for like pretty much the whole thing until we say the planet name and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it all depends on like how we write the intro too. Like the lizard episode, like opened with like a whole skit.
That's true. Hey,
we do have a quick question from Sketchy here. This will probably be mentioned when we get to him. But is Psychobos a descendant of Encephalonus? I do think we should wait till we get to him, but I want to put that on our radar to make sure we do. So thank you for the question, Sketchy.
I did see another question just
Yes.
above that from Radioactive Shark. Was Green Needle considered to be given a species during the production of the episode? There is actually already a fanon alien named Green Needle, so could not really do anything with that on my end, unfortunately.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to turn you up a little bit more real quick.
I did actually completely forget about the Green Needle meme during this production, which is also why there is no reference whatsoever.
Are you able to turn yourself up a little bit on your end? Oh, this is my drawing with Kuro screen. Oopsies.
On my end? How
Yeah.
would I do that? This one?
I don't know if there's just anything. Is there a knob on your microphone or something? It's just I have you turned up all the way, both in OBS and in Discord.
See real quick.
So I'm not sure if there's anything more I can do about it.
Is this better?
That is better. Yes.
Okay, I turned my gain knob. I don't know which way I did. But...
When we're recording voice lines, you should have it where you just had it. But right now it's fine. Like as long as they can hear you.
I need to really mark on there. Okay. Can people hear me well? Baba Booey.
I can
1,
already
2,
hear
1,
you
2.
significantly better.
Cool.
And will we get transformations for all 4 species? Yes, those will be revealed in the aforementioned drawing matrix. Matrix minis, they're called.
Yes,
but those will be coming out soon. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Oh, one last thing. I'm sorry. Is there any significance behind V906? Usually each number is a pun. What was
there
the V906?
was, and I don't remember what it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be fully honest. I cannot remember.
Oh wait! I think I know what it is. I think like it was the Taurus keychain number, and we swapped the first 2 numbers. Taurus
No. Sorry.
Ship.
It was the Taurus number and the Horus plushie number added together. That's what it was.
646 plus
I think
522. No.
I think.
Yeah.
Nope. Okay.
I forgot why we called this one 906. If we ever remember, we'll have to. Hi, Mochi.
Yeah.
We'll have to correct ourselves here. Alrighty, but let's
Model V.
void. Oh shit.
Let's plunge into the sidebar. E906, but you can call me Horus. Today we'll be exploring the prevailing planets of Encephalonus, the homeworld of Commander Tennyson's intellectually electrical transformation, Brainstorm. Please keep all appendages inside the portal at all times, and remember, even though carcinization has scientific sounding, we don't have to respect it.
So you want to go ahead and let people in on that who might not know, because I didn't know, honestly. So.
Yeah. So carcinization is a scientific. First off, they're saying video is too loud.
Oh man, audio balancing is always the bane of my freaking existence. Okay, keep going.
So carcinization is a scientific theory that most all life forms on our planet evolve into a form similar to crabs, because it is the most like physically sturdy and like most I guess survivable capable, because the thing too of like them being able to regenerate limbs and stuff like that, like the joke being everything turns into crabs. And Horace is saying is like, yeah, even though science says everything will turn into crabs, we don't have to be happy about it because they don't like cerebral crustaceans.
Yeah.
Also, something I completely forgot too. This is the first episode where we've done like the intro for the planet thing a little different. With this, it has the stated thing of like, oh yes, this is the home of Commander Tennyson's transformation Brainstorm.
Yes.
We did that to stretch out the intro a little bit to show more clip of Brainstorm. But I do also like the fact that we did this because pretty much all these episodes are titled like Brainstorm's Homeworld, Swampfire's Homeworld, and stuff like that. So presenting it like that in the intro, I do think is a better idea too.
Right, yeah, I do remember asking you, because originally the line was just this part.
Today we'll be exploring the prevailing planets of Encephalonus.
And then he would come back on screen. And it just seemed odd having him fly off screen, having that one sentence and come back on screen. So having him wait like it was just there just to like pace it out a little bit. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Like having him directly mention Brainstorm.
I do like, because he's presenting as like a show. I think it's better.
And viewers of his show would like know Brainstorm. Yeah.
Even though carcinization.
Plus another quick thing, how it says the electrical or the intellectual and electrical transformation or whatever. The original or I did an alternate take where it's the intellectual and electrically redundant alien because of as a joke to how many electric aliens.
Oh yeah, I forgot why I didn't keep that one.
Sorry about that. Either way, it works. I just thought it'd be funny.
As scientific sounding, we don't have to respect it.
There we go. Fuck them crabs.
Yeah. There's Noxie's theme again. Thanks, Noxie.
I love it so much. Thank you, Noxie.
One thing you haven't done before, which I really like that we did, is it's not obvious, but the clouds are on a different layer of the planet, so we were able to give them this little oh shit, what's going on? This like transparent wiggle. You'll see that.
I'm learning.
Yeah. We're making things cool, and the space background changed to kind of give it a little swirl. But yeah, here's the 4 planets of Encephalonus.
Yes. Welcome to Encephalonus, a collective of 4 societal-ruled planets in the Krillian system under the control of a cross-planetary government known as the Cerebrus Caste.
So I'm just bringing this because I asked this myself to you. There is no like deeper reason for the name Krillian system, right? It's just a name.
Not really. It's just like Krill is if anything, you could say it's like a reference to that game Another Crab's Treasure that came out like a year ago. The main character of that is a crab, and its name is Krill.
Okay.
Krill is just like it's a sea life fish type of name joke type of thing. So I don't know why I picked Krillian system specifically. It was the first thing I thought of when coming up with the script, and I mean,
not every name needs a whole thing behind it. You know, it could just be, hey, this is the Krillian system. You know, get fucked.
There is 4 years of lore behind why it's the Krillian system. Yeah. It was a whole different.
You didn't know the secret. It's funny because we did the exact opposite with Kyber. We were just like, here's this detailed, like, multi-year long arc about why Kyber's this way.
Yeah,
and we're not even gonna put it in the episode.
We'll talk about that a little bit later.
We'll get there,
when he shows up. But, like, god damn it. People were making a lot of Krillin jokes from Dragon Ball Z, so I thought that was funny.
Yeah. Oh, I love this, too. So, like, this was done because there's no record of the Fulmini's existence, so it's kind of just like, here's the ancient text of, like, whatever these Zap beings were.
These planets became intertwined over time due to a system-wide blackout brought about by an ancient invading force known as the Fulmini Dredge.
And yes, that does mean Shockrock is canon to the 5-way.
Shockrock canon!
He is. Yes, he is.
Now, I would like to state, because I am going to do a Matrix Mini for him, it's going to be a Volcanoot situation of the species is canon. Ben does not have a transformation of it, though, because they are no longer around.
But then we'll need a whole reason as of, like, then how do they exist?
Oh, no, we have the reason.
We do?
It's a legend of the system or whatever. It's just information.
Okay, so they're probably just like, hey, wouldn't it be interesting if we put this legend in our TV show? Okay. Yeah.
What I would like to say, which we came up with as a joke reason for why they're not around, but I'm stating it as the canon reason because I think it's funny as hell. After absorbing the planets, they tried absorbing the energy from the sun and just burnt to death. Like, they're all gone because they tried absorbing the sun and failed.
They're like, we can absorb anything. They could not.
Yeah,
absorb anything.
Just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So the entire species is gone. That's why there's no transformation. But I am gonna do a non-canon transformation because the fun of it.
Joe asks, what made you decide to finally add the reboot aliens? So that originally stems from my I guess, like, I liked I was very strongly attached to the idea of the reboot being a fictional universe in Ben 10, because I feel like that made it more interesting. That made it special. Like if Ben, like of course it'd be cool if Ben had like the reboot aliens. Like yeah, you know, more aliens the merrier. But it was just, it'd be a unique angle for me if it was like, oh, but these aliens only exist in the TV show. This is something new. But I mean, so I also felt like, you know, having like the trope of like, oh, in one universe, this fictional world is real. Like if like here us in reality, like us travel to another universe and like Harry Potter was real. I feel like that'd be a bit ridiculous. But I mean, I also gotta play devil's advocate. Like if the multiverse was absolutely infinite with infinite possibilities, sure, like of course like that would be real. And plus, like, you know, it's been years and I can't deny the constant fan demand of putting the reboot aliens in 5YL. At this point I feel like I would just be stubbornly holding on to my grievances with that rather than just, you know, being like, you know, screw it. Yeah, okay, Shock Rock's in 5YL now. Like, does it really matter that much? No. So why am I making a big deal out of it? I kind of just felt like it wasn't worth. And then you approached me with this idea too. It was actually you that convinced me, because you came up with this. You pitched it with this lore. You thought of this.
Yes.
And you're like, hey, I know you don't like this.
Yeah, no, I literally was like, hey, so the reboot. No, the initial idea was because in Encephalonus lore from the I think it's the Vilgax Attacks video game, it states like the 4 planets did have like a blackout for like 100 years or something that was unexplained, and I was like, oh, this is the show where we explain that shit. So let me get thinking. And then the Fulmini lore from the reboot is that they go around like absorbing all the energy from planets and stuff. So I was like, oh, that's 2 puzzle pieces that fit perfectly together then. Also, Dawn in the chat asking, is Dredge from Fulmini Dredge reference to Titan AE? It is actually, because I love those things from Titan AE, but also looking at how they function and what they are and everything, they are literally just the Fulmini without the rocks. So like, I thought it would be a perfect little like tie-in.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I really liked your lore, so I figured. Yeah, and we did talk about how like, oh well, we could just replace the species, but I don't know. I was like, all right, fine. You know, if we're gonna do it, we might as well not just be like, hey guys, reboot's canon now. Well, like this is an interesting way to reveal it to the audience for the first time, with like a lore explanation. Unexpectedly in an And Beyond episode. Like, I don't think people saw this coming, especially if they know my opinions. But I mean, you know, whatever. I like this. I like this a lot. You did a great job, Ryan, and you persuaded me. I changed my views.
I rolled a nat 20.
You rolled a nat 20. You were like, boom, the Fulmini, and I was like, fuck. Okay.
I'm too good at lore.
Too good at lore. Does that mean the producers of the reboot and 5YL really read up on some history on them? Yeah, the reboot 5YL producers, and this is something I already thought of too, is they're just huge Ben 10 nerds. They're almost just like the in-universe.
They're literally
they're my real
in-universe
self-insert. Yeah, y'all thought it was Chirp?
Yeah.
No, it's the people who run the Ben 10 show in the that's me.
Yeah, no. That's how the Fulmini are in the reboot. It's the me equivalent in-universe was just like, have you ever heard of this old Encephalonus legend of why the planets lost electricity for 100 years?
Right.
There was these things, and I think it'd be really cool if we made it an alien.
Yeah.
It wouldn't offend any species.
And Ben's
either,
only on board with
around.
it because he just really hates super alien hero buddy adventures. What was it? Superhero alien buddy adventures or whatever?
Super buddy alien or something. Yeah.
I imagine the reason for the reboot existing, like the TV show in 5YL, is because Tim Dean, like after Ben's identity went public in a couple of years, he was just like, this is so popular, he should have a TV show, and he tries to reboot superhero alien buddy adventures, and the only way to stop him is for Ben to make his own TV show and be in control. So that's the whole reason the show exists, and he voices Vilgax and everything, is so that like Tim Dean can go fuck himself.
So technically in 5YL then, you could say Ben hates the reboot, but of Super Buddy Alien Adventures.
Yeah.
And that's why The
Yeah,
show
so
is
he
made-
was like, I'm
so
just gonna
Ben-
have to make my
Ben
own show to
canonically-
protect the rights.
Ben canonically hates the reboot. Got you.
Sure.
Fulmini Dredge were a brutal force of energy-based creatures that would traverse the stars, ravaging planet after planet, scavenging any electrical resource they could find.
And this is showing the different species before actually.
And
stating
these are kind of like
showing.
ancient designs of them too, right? A little bit. 'Cause
Yeah.
I
So
noticed...
this was just the concept art designs. Because like at the time I didn't solidify their designs, but I knew roughly what I wanted their bodies to look like. So,
Yeah.
Realize that
I
this
noticed
power-
that too with like
Things
these
that be
sand people
tripods.
here. Like they don't look like how they do in modern day. But
They're
this
in
is,
water
like...
right now.
Oh, this is their ancestors. Oh yeah, that makes sense too, I guess. Yeah.
Hunger stemmed from either reproductive or self-sustaining needs. Unfortunately, most all records of this event have been inexplicably
Oh, and that's the
destroyed
high
with-
overdrive, the one on the mountain. That's why his head shape is different from the other Fulmini. The guy on the top left is the high overdrive.
Right here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Look at him go. Yeah, so there's like this layering thing here that made this box appear. And it sucks because it only shows up when I exported the video. It doesn't show up when I'm editing the video. So like I'm trying to
I didn't
remove
even
it.
see that till
I
you
think
pointed
it's some
it
type
out.
of blending error. Like now that I think about it, I feel like I would know what to do to get rid of it, but yeah, so it's only there when it
It's
explodes. Like and behind it you can see it form. It's when you
'cause
see
the sun.
Yeah, because like when Horus talks about them draining the sun, you see it switch to the other sun, and this is the borders of that sun asset. And that wasn't visible until I exported the episode. But now it disappears.
The Fulmini left these planets lacking any electrical productive material, and they were left in the dark. That is until life found a way.
Yeah, so the Fulmini came to this system and they sucked their sun to death. And then the Brainstorms rescued them essentially. Like
Yeah,
that's
the
like the one sentence
Brainstorms-
version of it.
Yeah, through evolution, the Brainstorm started being able to make electricity again, and then just like scienced the hell out of their planet back to advanced, and then went around fixing everything. I love the zoom-ins. I love it every time.
There we go. Here we are.
On our first stop today, we'll be focusing on the central hub of the Cerebrus cast, Encephalonus 4.
You know, this made me realize we never showed off any of the cities that we showed at the end of the Lizard World.
Yeah, so that was actually in the storyboards, and it didn't end up in the final.
Did I
thing, and
forget it?
didn't-
Did you make
Yeah.
assets for it? Oh shit, where was it?
It was the original assets. It's just in the storyboards. It was supposed to be like this part while
Oh,
he's doing
no.
this bit. And when he mentions the aqua respiratory species, then it pans up through the clouds and shows the same city shot from the teaser.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
going based off the assets. Oh, because
It's-
I would have already had those assets.
Yeah,
Oh man, dude,
that's- Yeah.
I'm
It was
so
a communication thing. No, it's fine.
Sorry. No,
it's fine.
I mean I should. Yeah, damn. Yeah, I was looking like the way I was doing it was like I would look at the asset and then try to track down the asset in the storyboard and try to match it up. And because I had those assets in a different folder, I didn't think to look for them. Shit, dude, I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I do see questions real quick in the chat. From Shark saying, I thought the Fulmini created those sand blobs because they're creating them while they're doing the shocking while saying the reproduction line. No, it is they're just electrocuting the hell out of them. And is there a reason Cerebral Crustacean Planet is number 4? You'd think how egotistical they are, they'd be number 1. So what it is that with Encephalonus, the guy himself, the main planet of Encephalonus 4 had a different name when he was there, when he lived there, because he hadn't explored yet. The other planets, they named sequentially based off of which ones he explored, like in order. So the first one he went there, explored, became a leader, Encephalonus 1. Went to the next one, same thing, Encephalonus 2, then 3, then went back home and made the Cerebrus caste government thing, And then that was Encephalonus 4, because that was the fourth one that he ended up ruling over.
So it was literally just in sequence of like the planets.
Which ones he took over. Yeah.
Okay.
Encephalonus 4 is a wet, low-tidal planet shrouded in a veil of thunderstorms. These thunderstorms are artificially manufactured to keep the many aqua respiratory species that call the planet.
Do we ever say how they make the storms, or they just do?
Technology, they just do.
They got that.
Breathing easily.
I can't explain
life of this planet.
Yeah, come on, Ryan.
Cerebrocrustaceans.
No, they use the same weather towers that the hybrid did during the Alien Force arc.
Yeah. In fact, the hybrid got the weather controlling technology from the cerebral crustaceans in the first place.
God.
The hybrid tried to invade Encephalonus, and in order for them to have their freedom, the Encephalonus traded them their weather technology so that they can spare their planet. Boom. There we go. Canon. Put it on the wiki.
For fuck's sake.
See, that's where I would have used the Mr. Krabs thing. But I didn't.
Cerebrocrustaceans are large hexapedal arthropods standing between 3 to 6
Crystal
foot
did
tall.
great with these
Though the
puppets.
majority of their
We had
bone
Crystal
tissue
on
and
puppets
muscles
again.
extremely soft and weak, they are protected by a highly dense exoskeletal shell. This shell is capable of retracting open at the cranial seam, exposing their supposed greatest strength, their brain.
Jimmy Neutron.
I had to. It was too
was
perfect
good.
of a joke.
I liked it, and it worked out. It worked out very fine, especially with how it was integrated. It worked out perfectly.
Typical Sarahabin brain makes up.
And that's Dunkle Funkle, right?
It's Grunkle Stan, the guy who won the Funkle Stunkle Ball.
Yeah.
Fucking. So people keep asking why this is the example. Like, straight, just honest answer. The Book of Bill came out while I was making this episode, and I was reading it, and I had Gravity Falls on the brain, and I was like, oh, there's the joke about Bill being in Stan's brain still. So I'll use this as the brain example. If you zoom in real close, you can see a little triangle with a single dot in the center of his brain being Bill Cipher.
Bill Cipher is 5-way L canon.
He is. Always has been.
This whole
He won
time.
the Funkle Bunkle Ball.
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
You
Frank.
got the Dunkle Shunkle Bunkle.
3% of their overall body weight and contains upwards of 25 quadrillion neural paths. The cerebrocrustacean mind, however, takes up a whopping 20% of their overall weight, resulting in 2.8 decillion neural paths. That is decillion.
I remember us having a conversation about like how much their brains like weight should be. Because it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
no,
that's
'cause
a
those
whole-
nearly
It's a big thing with them.
Yeah.
6 times more. The more paths means faster and more efficient neural activity, giving them an extremely hyper sense of perception and contemplation, being able to think faster than a fraction of a second. My programming mandates that I clarify that this means their bigger brains do make them faster than Galvin, but not smarter.
Yeah.
Just putting that out there.
So
and
that's the Mrs. Puff face, right?
yeah, this is a SpongeBob joke. Is the big fat meanie face on top of the cerebrocrustacean?
I recognized
So
that
we got-
when I was editing this.
Dude, we got one SpongeBob joke in at least.
We did. We got the big fat meanie. Y'all can't say we didn't try.
Thomas head crabs.
And of course, like, Horace has this programmed prejudice against the cerebrocrustaceans because he was built by Blue Kitchen Dreba.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, the joke was like because he's Galvin Tech, of course he would naturally like not. And that was actually going to lead into something later in this episode that we rewrote, which we'll get to.
Due to their ample amount of synapse.
Sorry, Sketchy says, did you think of a reason why Galvin are smarter? I
Because they
would,
got that
I would
frog in them.
frog. No, I would say like there's no just standard one is smarter than the other. I would say that Galvin typically will be seen as smarter purely based off of experience. They live for like thousands of years or whatever, and experience. Think of it like Doctor Who. There can be characters that are smarter than the Doctor, but like he has so much knowledge and experience in his head from the thousands of years he's been alive people just assume he's the smartest in the room.
And they're flashier too. You know, the Galvins work with the plumbers and create like a whole bunch of technology. They created the galvanic mechamorph. So like just out of reputation alone, the universe knows the Galvin are so smart. The cerebrocrustaceans aren't really like. I mean, they definitely got a big ego on them, but they really don't. They kind of keep
to themselves. Like they don't share their stuff with the universe as much as Encephalonus did.
Yeah,
Encephalonus was probably more like a Galvin, the way he acted.
Right. Because they take control of the system later, like all the other Encephalonus planets, and like the way they're able to mediate that control is kind of not letting on that they're taking control. So it's sort of like a passive, like I'm networking behind the scenes sort of thing, whereas the Galvins are like putting on a freaking billboard, like we invented this. So it's more of a reputation
we are the
thing.
Machine gods.
Yeah, right. Yeah. As for who's truly, genuinely more smarter, I don't think there's really a way to answer that, other than Azimuth specifically is probably the smartest being, but it's not because he's a Galvin. It's because of who Azimuth is,
and how long he's been alive and stuff.
Yeah.
In speed of conduction, they have developed the unique ability to fluctuate and pool their excess amount of neuron activity into an outward electrical force. In layman's terms, they can fire electricity from their brains by simply thinking hard enough.
And they do
Aside from acting as their own natural power source,
there's that Horus background thing that we use a lot.
They use their cranial conductive ability to perform many physical tasks.
Dude, I will say, something I just thought of that would have been really funny is, because I didn't know you were going to put in the clip there that has Psychobos shocking them. It would be so funny if we didn't do the Psychobos thing, and then people be like, how did you go to Encephalonus and not have Psychobos in the episode? No, he's in that clip. He's in that clip. He's in the episode.
Look at him. You see?
That would have been really
He's
funny.
right here. Come on.
Yeah, he's right there. Psychobos is in the episode.
Yeah. Sharked asked, did Horus really shrink to go inside the brain, or is it a projection?
It's a projection.
Yeah, that one's a projection. Sometimes he's really there.
I bored through this crab's skull to get in here to do this bit.
But we did have Zero shrink once.
That is true.
Yeah, but that's Dr. Giro technology, not Galvin technology.
Yeah.
But either way, I mean, what's up?
I would say Horus cannot shrink. At least not this way. This was just a presentation thing. That's a smooth. That's
I was gonna say, is this Amber Ogia?
It's no, because the interaction with the other planet, probably not. I would say that is their equivalent of Boba, which is actually Vicetopus eggs.
Okay. Yeah. They're
they're pompous. They're pompous
coming around
assholes,
full
which
circle.
actually
You eat us, we'll eat your kids.
That does remind me too, in the bit where it shows the male and female for cerebrocrustaceans, people in the comments of the video itself were asking, why does she wear lipstick and stuff? Her lipstick and her outfit itself are actually made from Vicetopus. It is purely just like we can beat even our natural predator and flaunt it. Like they're pompous assholes. They're literally drinking Vicetopus eggs.
Like wearing
just
a
for the
lion
hell of
pelt
it.
down to like
Exactly.
Yeah. I get you.
Hefty exhaust-inducing labor to intricate microcircuitry work.
Little fun
That was a fun one to draw.
Video Diary fans already saw this. This background right here is from the reboot TV show episode in
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did a lot of reused backgrounds in this episode because of time. It's part of my process now of like trying to speed production up, is like reusing assets a lot more for stuff that ultimately like,
and most folks
it's not going to
notice.
be a focus. Yeah.
But it's fun to point out. Spoil the
And even gravity defines self-propulsion.
This was a fun thing because you were trying to save time a lot just by making these still images, but I felt like you needed to see this one in motion, so I actually cut this guy out and redrew the lightning so that you could see him move.
I do like that you did that.
I don't mind a little bit of effort now and then, you know. And then
also,
here's the angry
Paracleps
Fryman.
show up. Yeah, they're at a bus stop. It says in it says it's a 1 hour wait for the bus, and he's just able to just jump over because they built the stuff for them to do that instead of building a bridge.
Yeah, he could just fly across.
Yeah.
You stupid paracleps. Gotta take the bus.
This electroconductive.
It's another animation error. The blend mode doesn't kick in until this whole thing is filtered in.
I never noticed that.
Oopsie doopsie.
Oh, no, it works. It's fine.
I notice all my flaws, Ryan. Don't you worry.
This electroconductive innovation of evolution steamrolled their path up the road of advancement.
So this is actually all the tech levels, like from Ben 10, like specifically. We got
yes. The levels. There's something I found out when doing this episode and making this. It turns out there is not like an actual full set of the levels. Like they skip 8 and 9, and those don't like. There's nothing listed or anything for those. I made up a bunch of the stuff for these, like the icons and stuff.
There's
like that.
Some of them alien swarm chips, right?
Yes, tech level 9 is the nano chips.
Yeah. And we got the hybrid jump gate,
weather tower.
Yeah, the teleporter. What's 10 right here? 11.
I'm gonna be honest. Don't remember. Something with a cube. 7 is interplanetary travel. 8 is like portal technology. I remember 10 over there is like transferring information via liquid, which is actually a technology that's more so used on the Valratrack planet because they have like a lot more oceans and stuff.
They'd be blorping
like,
and shit.
Exactly, they'd be blorping and shit.
Yeah, and then here they are.
A sheep.
Huh?
I said in a sheep.
Oh, yes, in the ship.
Once interplanetary travel was reacquired, the Cerebro crustaceans made their way to their neighboring planets to help rebuild the other civilizations, fueled by the generosity and scientific yearning of their leader, Beyond Encephalonus.
Okay. First off, I love the little you gave them. Is that you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So with Kusan, some people actually, I only saw one person in the comments somehow guess the reference of his name exactly. It is a reference to Senku from Dr. Stone. It's Senku's name, but the first part and the second part switched.
Now, who's Kusan? I mean Senku.
Kusan. Senku Ishigami Senku. He's the guy that I actually based my Alien Onion Head off of. It's like a super smart dude.
Is he
that's
the main
stuck
character?
In the Stone Age. He is the main character. Yes.
I've seen him. Yeah, he's got like the hair and he's like holding the beaker.
Yeah. I rewatched Dr. Stone all the way up to the end of like the current season, like a month before starting production. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Who's your favorite character other than him?
Mr. Brick.
I hate the fact that there actually is a character named Brick.
What?
all of the people.
So you
in
thought I was lying?
Village, no, all of the people in Ishigami Village in that show are named after like elements and minerals.
I was gonna keep going with that. I was gonna be like, yeah, and there's Concrete Chris over here.
No, there is Chrome, Magma. I can't remember. They're most Sapphire, Jade. Like all of them are named after minerals and stuff like that.
That's crazy. All right, yeah, he's my favorite, the Brick Man.
Encephalonus was an explorer who sought out to see the universe.
When I sent you the screenshot, when I sent you the screenshot of this,
I was like, "This is that freaking meme, isn't it?"
It's the Soy Jack pointing meme. Yes, you immediately got it. Your response was just, "You fucking dork."
Universe and the secrets it held.
We love killing birds. How many episodes have we killed a bird in?
Look, I don't know why I keep doing it.
You keep killing birds, man. This is like episode 6.
I don't do it intentionally. I think it's because I hate drawing beaks. If you notice, that bird didn't even have a beak. It was like a mosquito mouth.
Yeah. And look at him. He's so happy. He's chirping along. He's just having a good time. What's he doing? He's imposing on them, Ryan. And you murdered him.
Well, no. I will say that species of bird or whatever the hell it is the one I mentioned in the Matrix Mini for Fry Guy of like they attack the Paraclept and will like try to eat their little squiggly doos at the top of their head. So he's helping them out a lot with this.
We'll miss you, my guy.
The arms of an angel.
Through his travels with his kind.
Let's zoom in for it.
Just so you know, this thing is cool though. This little robot thing that you built.
Oh, thank you. That was actually the thing that got me thinking to do the little sandcastle animation in the next bit, because the first one I did with the Soy Jack meme, I did plan on them just being solid images, but I was like, no, I want to make this thing go up and then do this, and I think it'd be cool. But then that's what made me do the sandcastle. Thank you.
Through his travels with his kindness worn at his claw, he became beloved by all and unintentionally became the de facto leader.
This was fun figuring out how to get this to work. So
you made it look so cool.
Thank you. I try my best.
Also, this isn't even technology. The thing he's firing at is just a mirror, because if a sand that gets hit by lightning will get superheated and turn into glass. So that's how it's building the structure, is he's using like a magnifying glass to just procedurally shoot electricity to make this structure. That's why it's partially glass in some bits.
I like how he only has one flap open too. Like he's being precise.
Oh, that was on. I did that because of your redesign of Brainstorm having that third section.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I really want to use that specifically.
I like
that's
that.
Really cool.
That's really cool. That's really neat. And this was actually a really weird thing, but trying to make it sound like they were clapping and cheering, but like these things, so like the sounds.
Oh yeah, that like squishy kind of.
Yeah, they're like, oh, good job, buddy.
They go to clap and their hands are just stuck together.
Yeah. Some of the sound design in here is like it's pretty fun to try to figure it out, because like it seems so natural, but it's also like coming to that conclusion, because every character has like their own soundboard in and Beyond. How they move, how they talk.
During material trade, cross-planetary colonization, and even establishing the multi-planetary government. He was so beloved that after his passing, the colony...
I'm so disappointed in myself, though. I couldn't get these shots to line up perfectly.
No,
it seems
that's
like an
fair.
easy task, but like...
Well, no. It's how... I believe, too, it was how I pieced the assets together. I probably should have just made it as, like... Because one of them is at like a downward angle, and then this one is like down looking up. So like,
oh, are they? They're two different drawings?
No, it's the same drawing. It's just the way that the platform that he's standing on is. Like that platform, you're looking at it from above.
Oh yeah, so it's almost like the ground
one,
like de-escalates like 10 feet or so.
That's on me. I messed up the angle.
It's all good.
But all the people were the leaders of the other planets of that time. Those are also the people that he made the children with.
This is his harem?
Yes, they're dead now.
Oh. So, we'll get there, but I do have a question.
That after his passing, the colonies retitled the planets in his honor. Despite his pure intention, Encephalonus recognized his system had flaws, and could be abused by others if not kept in check. Wanting to ensure that the planets would stay united and not fall to a power struggle after his passing, he created 4 children.
I do like that with the way I designed 5-Whale Brainstorm with that weird like mouth thing, you were still able to incorporate having teeth in there. Because I feel like that was really
so fun. It was so fun figuring that out.
That was really important to keep. I feel like I shouldn't have made it seem like they weren't there anymore.
Nah, dude, it looks cool. I like it.
Yeah, I like what you did here. But here's another opportunity for the Mr. Krabs sound effect. When he backs up, he's literally like...
to pass along his ideals through the generations. Cerebrocrustaceans reproduce via neural grafting. Their brain cells are unbelievably regenerative. Thanks to this, they can recover
That's a
from near
reused gun
lobotomized.
from episode 2 of And Beyond.
From episode
It's a-
2.
Yeah, from oh no, not episode 2, episode 3, Sonorosia. It's an Alamaran gun.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know
Yeah.
that. That's awesome.
Yeah, reusing assets saves time.
Look
I
at
didn't have
that.
to draw a whole gun.
Wow.
I just changed it to green.
That's awesome. The Alamar.
Injuries easily. But as they age, they will suffer from Chiari malformation, meaning their brain will outgrow their skulls and overtake the rest of their muscles, resulting in a loss of motor function and eventually death.
Now, does this happen no matter what, or only if their brain is initially injured?
No. This is just it's something that can happen. Think of it in the sense of like with humans that get cancer, like it could happen. It's not always going to happen with everyone, but it can randomly happen to anyone. It's just how it be. Because some cerebral crustaceans, I could say they can live to be super old and then just die of natural causes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or with in some instances, like with Kusan, it's more so like with him at least, he used all of his brain with his children. He split it up evenly amongst them and is just gone from that.
Elizabeth in the chat says episode 4 was Sonorosia. Episode 3 was the Ghost Zone.
Oh, I don't know my own lore.
I didn't know either.
To be fair, I hate that I'm about to say this. I constantly forgot that we made a Ghost Zone episode because it's the only non-Ben 10 one we've done. And
unless you want to count Krypton and Vegeta, although
that was in Ben's universe.
Yeah.
It's they're going to be more outside of outside of Anua, coming up after the finale episode. But
yeah, we're gonna go to Caillou's Homeworld. We're gonna go to Kim's convenience store.
I actually would love that.
We're
That'd be
gonna go
hilarious.
to the Scranton Paper Company. We're gonna go to Bikini Bottom. We're gonna go everywhere.
Oh, everywhere.
To reproduce, they will take sections of their own brain and graft them to that of another.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
Thank you. I don't... Look, I'm going to be fully honest. I don't know what gave me the idea. I was just like, what's something that sounds horrible scientifically, but would probably be fine to them? Oh, they just cut off pieces of their brain. Like how you can graft a plant to another one or whatever.
Now, before they did it like surgically, like how did they reproduce? Like, did they just kind of blurp it out, or
no? I would say it's like just how crabs do, of like they lay eggs and then the male fertilizes or whatever. They probably just over time evolved like to just not do that as much.
I was thinking it was more barbaric. Like they would just take their claw and rip it out because they didn't know no better.
You know what? I kind of like that. It's just like, oh yeah. Back in the day when one would die and they just throw in corpses on a pile and then a baby just appears out of it.
Yeah, they got like, the crab corpse in the middle of every town, the crab corpse pile.
Oh my god.
You're like, oh man, Aunt Susie's dead, throw her in the pile.
It's what they refer to as a birthing pit.
Yeah, the birthing pit. Cerebral crustacean birthing. Yeah, that was so That's barbaric. Horrible. Like nowadays they're just like, we can't do this anymore.
Like I'm saying that's canon because I actually really like how fucked up that idea
the birthing
is.
Pile. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay,
Cerebral crustaceans before they were super smart would have birthing pits where they would just throw their dead in a pile and then babies would
appear. And then new babies would crawl out.
Yeah.
I love it.
Action of neural paths accompanied by incubation will trigger the growth of a new body. This is the child of the two brain donors. Encephalonus wanted to prove his belief in all the connected peoples he led, so he took a partner of the dominant species of each colony and created hybridized children using his own brain. Bothan of the Paraclep.
This was so fun too, like all of the cerebral crustacean hybrid children.
See, I am the fusion. I will say, I did really want to do a full color illustration for all of these, but again, trying to save time. That's why they're just like the blues and stuff. I do have their line art saved as a separate thing on their own, so I do plan on releasing like full colored art of them at some point when I randomly have time.
We'll see.
But the idea with the we will see. With the hybrid children, the idea behind it was really I wanted to include like what in the real world is known as false crab species, such as hermit crabs and horseshoe crabs, where people think they're crabs and they're not actually.
Yeah.
So that each of these is based off of a false crab. Boffin is based, well, that one's actually kind of more an actual crab, but Boffin is based off of a pom-pom crab that will take pieces of sea anemone and attach them to their claws and use them for defense. Because that's what the paraclip do with theirs. They have their little squiggly bits and will use them, the paralytics, to defend themselves. So with Boffin,
did the partners survive?
No.
Did they know that?
No.
They didn't know they were gonna get like
no. They didn't. It was kind of like I hate to say this, but it was kind of like a taken in the night type of thing. Like they were asleep in bed, woke up in a lab, and then yeah.
No, I mean that makes sense because we did talk about because originally your first draft on this had the
they were too nice.
They were too nice.
You said they were too nice.
I didn't say this.
Okay.
I just said, like, I was like, look, we do a lot of the interspecies harmony thing a lot. We did that with the Sonorosians. We did that with the Saiyans. We did that with the lizards.
They're so harmonious, they hybridized.
I guess so. So I was just like, what if the crabs were just a bunch of fucking dicks? And then...
see, that's honestly, if you think about it on a deeper level, Encephalonus wanted to, like, be peaceful and like everyone be happy and stuff like that. But he's the one that had the idea to have the hybrid children to keep that peace, and like his children end up being like manipulative assholes that just do what they want and everything.
Yeah,
he kind of had that in him too, to the point that he just took these people in the night and like made children with them. That sounds so fucked up now that I think about it.
I mean, no matter how you phrase it, like he kidnapped people, he took half of their brain.
Well, no. What he did with how it works and everything, because I've thought about the process of it actually, is that he took them, because he needs the incubation process of it too. So he would take them, open up their skull, remove a section of their brain, put his brain in there, close it back up, and put them in like an incubation chamber.
Oh, so
and
over
he was
time it would them.
Yes, so though they are his children technically, but yeah.
That's crazy.
It's messed up.
I mean, that's sci-fi. Some shit's just dark, fucking crazy, you know?
But he has it in him to do fucked up stuff like that because he thinks it's what will make a correct conclusion in the end. And that's kind of how all the cerebral crustaceans end up being over time. It's just they wear it out on their sleeve all the time. He's a bit more like, oh no, I'm a nice guy. Your skull looks a little nice there.
Yeah, that's a tasty looking juicy brain there, huh?
Yeah.
Was that 30% fat just on the ends? Mm-hmm.
Ken, I'm saying Encephalonus probably thought it was a necessary evil, which is hypocritical of him. Literally that exactly. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm all for like sci-fi getting a little twisted here and there. Like, not everything could be all sunshine and rainbows. And I feel like this is a scenario where it's not just like, oh, like we're just trying to make like some crazy like malicious dude. It's like it's an interesting story, you know. Like every tragedy has to be written by somebody, and
he ends up being a bad guy inadvertently.
Yeah,
he doesn't think he's being bad, and no one else in his system thought he did anything wrong. He disappeared, and then he just, like, these children appeared, and they were the leaders of the planet, and the communities just went along with it. Now, the current modern day, they're not okay with that because his children end up being assholes, but, like, they were fine with it at first because they're like, oh, Encephalonus did this. Yeah, no, he's a good guy. He's looking out for us.
Encephalonus did it. He signed off on this. So, like, how could this be wrong? You know, the greatest crab man in all of existence thought this was okay. So who am I to question him? Name this crab. Is this the hermit crab?
That's Aquaman. That is a hermit crab, yes. And the stuff on him, because he is wearing sand on his body. The parts up top are glass, because those are the parts where he shoots electricity from the most.
Mm. And if y'all notice, when they shrink down in the corner, they become little icon things too.
Yeah, no, I didn't even plan that. You just did that, and it's super cool. I love that.
Why, thank you.
And
Bloop.
stupid detail as well. The species name Valratrak is based off of the YouTuber that made the trend of the Dirtman song. It's just his username, but I mixed up the letters. The guy who did the "Keep a little dirt under my pillow for
Oh
the dirt
yeah, I do
man."
know that. Okay, yep.
Yeah, because he's
Sorry.
it's the Sandman technically.
You're forgetting I'm
Sand
60,
crab.
Ryan.
Oh no, you can't.
This thing, wait, how do you say it?
Salve of the
Salve.
Lunulequus.
Salve.
It's supposed to be each of their names is like a pun of like a smart word. Save is supposed to be like savvy, but said incorrectly. Yeah, Boffin, I can't remember exactly what it is. Akumen is like another term for like someone who's really smart.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sarah is just Sarah.
Like a
cerebellum.
Yeah, the cerebellum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now this is a lobster.
No, it's the seahorse species mixed with a crab. It's a horseshoe crab. It's a horseshoe crab.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a seahorse.
I get you.
His body folds down and into
And
the
then
white bits on the
He
top of the
gallops
torso.
around.
Yeah.
Oh man, is there a red dot on his foot?
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, there might have been.
There's a red
Oh,
dot
that's
on his
me.
foot.
That was on his asset. Damn it.
You fucked up, Ryan.
I know.
And Sarah of the Cerebrocrustacean.
And she's just full cerebral crustacean.
Yeah, she's just a cerebral.
These four hybridized children, leading and representing their respective
Yeah, people
planets, came to
actually in the comments were like, "How is Sarah a hybrid child?" And I'm like, "Look, there's 4 fucking species. It's a generalized statement. It's not meant to be."
I mean, she's still got like half her mind robbed, so
yeah,
you know, like what, is that not cool enough for you? Your death
She's
wasn't
technically
worth
a
it because it
hybrid.
wasn't cool. Sorry.
she's
Sarah.
a hybrid of 2 different crabs.
Yeah.
Cerebrus cast. Unfortunately, however, it
What is
seems
it?
their
Huh?
I love the sound effect there. What the hell is it?
Oh, it's a whole bunch of different ones. I don't remember now. There's like bugs,
Okay.
slugs. Some of them I made myself. Like,
I remember at first, when I first saw the clip, I thought it was the audio of the green needle that you like twisted around or something.
oh no, that would have been funny though. Yeah, no, it's
it would have been
just
funny.
a lot. It's just a combination of like sound effects and my own voice, and then a bunch of filters. That's what most and beyond sound effects are. Is just me going like in the microphone or something, and just
Oh, 2 questions from chat. Joe asks, "Does this mean crab brains are able to meld with other species' brains?" I would say just generally, if you're just slapping the brain chunks together, probably not. Encephalonus had a whole lab and process of doing the thing. So I'd say like with the correct ways, yeah, probably, but not just like taking a chunk of brains and sticking them together. And then saying, "So was the mother of Sarah the only one to survive?" No. It's he's still disposed of any
don't
loose
get it
end.
twisted. She still died.
Yeah. Encephalonus wanted a nice dinner before he gave his last chunk of brain up. So.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, however, it seems their father's wishes couldn't last the test of time. His mind and morals diluting out over the generations. As a result,
Okay,
his
so-
descendants became just as he feared.
Here's another thing real
Greedy-
quick. If you notice with the final art and with the actual family tree, aside from Boffin's descendant, all of them do cross over a little bit, which is meant to be a joke of like royal families doing like incestuous stuff to keep their blood pure and stuff like that, or just drama of partners like being with other people in the family and stuff like that.
Except for Boffin. Boffin doesn't get down freaky like that.
Well, Boffin is a tree technically.
Well, they
like,
these all connect in one timeline.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Ryan.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. They all messed around. Boffin's though, his entire line is just like the Paraclept reproduce similarly to like cerebral crustaceans or just generally trees in real life, where you will take snippets and just kind of put them together with another one to keep growing the tree or whatever. That's why in the final art, the top left corner, Boffin's only descendant, is just a gigantic crab tree thing, is because it's one thing that's been growing since Boffin. That's just been getting added to more and more over time.
That's him?
Yeah, he's a crab apple tree.
I love it. And you got this man.
Yes, he's a big old seahorse lobster man. Beating the shit out of someone.
He looks so cool.
Thank you. I honestly put like no thought into their designs.
You got the hood thing acting like the brain cap. You got the claws acting as the shoulder pads. That's really cool.
This is my fusion manness. I wasn't trying with these. I'm not trying to toot my horn, but like I didn't put thought into these really. I just wanted them to be kind of like interesting looking. This one is the fucking jellyfish thing, a seahorse, and a crab.
Oh my!
He kills these dudes by shocking the sand on their bodies to turn into glass to stab them.
And we got right here,
fucking Sarlacc pit. Yeah.
My God.
That's just a crab.
Just a crab.
Like aside from, yeah, and another one. aside from Boffin, Sarah's side of the family tree did try to keep like really restricted to only cerebral crustaceans, just because like their natural prejudice or whatever, and like, oh no, we're not going to mix with others. And then some of them over time were like, well, maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe if we put on incognito mode.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. We don't gotta tell nobody.
We need controlling monarchs who only value their people based on how they benefit them.
And the logo changing because the morals of the government changing.
So this effect I learned doing the brain sequence. The dream sequence in 5YL. Every single one of these frames is custom made to be what they are. There's no like automated filter or thing. Like each one of these is made from intentional scratch.
That is insane, and it looks amazing.
Thank you. And it that way. So whenever you see if I do something like that, like there's no automated effect that does that. That's just me. All dramatic.
One predominant example on Encephalonus 4 being that...
It's like, yeah, but hey, look at this.
One predominant example on Encephalonus 4 being that to protect...
Another little detail, that's an unspoken detail, is with the Paraclept living on Encephalonus 4 now, we see the big trees and stuff, like in the main show. Part of me was always like, why do they have these weird-ass giant, like, mangrove trees on the electric crab planet? They are migrated there by the Paraclept. It's part of like to help the environment adjust a bit more for them to be able to live there more functionally. Which another detail with that is when you see Encephalonus on the Paraclept planet, they are a brown base body with pink squiggly bits. On Encephalonus, because they're absorbing different water and it's a different environment, they are a green base with the orange squiggly bits because it's not the same like type of not their natural
they gotta adapt
like consumable stuff. Yeah, they change slightly.
And I had something I was gonna say. I forgot. Oh, we do have a question though. So are the 4 leaders still the 4 leaders at this point, or they were just the initial 4 leaders? But like we do, we do see the family tree things, right? So they had like offspring and everything, and that's where the incest and stuff comes in.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So they were just
right
the
now,
original wave.
Yeah. Right now, there are technically like 8 leaders across the 4 planets because of all the descendants that are in power.
I see.
Themselves, cerebrocrustaceans have tricked entire communities of the Paraclub people into migrating to their planet.
Just a little bug thing. So this is that bug from Emperor's New Groove or whatever, right?
New Groove, yeah. It's the pill bug that they eat in the diner. Yes. It is literally just that. I was like, I can't think of a bug design, and I want it to be a food thing. This would be funny.
Yeah, here it is right here.
Yeah. It's that thing.
It's that thing.
Look at it. It's gooey.
Yeah, this was fun to figure out with all the different legs and everything. Honestly, doing this is what made me feel comfortable with doing Psychobos walking across the area.
That ended up looking really good.
Yeah, the trick is just like a 3-point. You start with the standard position, which will later be called the recoil. So you do a keyframe here. You do the outstretch, then you do the pull back, which is the recoil, the standard thing, and then the readjust, and you just have those 3 things, and then the keyframes fill them in, and it creates like a locomotion. So you never want to just go back and forth. You always want 3 points of pivot, because there's the initial thing, the recoil, and the buildup, and it's 3 points of movement. If it just swung back and forth, it would look a little bit little too loosey goosey,
A little robotic.
A little, yeah. And this whole thing too, this was a fun sequence to figure out, where you like see him like chopping and he pushes them back into position and stuff. And we had Kellen do a whole sequence of voicing this guy. These are all original sounds by Kellen. In fact, because we're in breakdown mode, I'm gonna go ahead and pull them up. Yeah.
Which that's where I got the idea to have Kellen be the voice of Fry Guy for the mini, because I was like, oh, I love the weird little like hum to the voice. It almost sounds electric.
Yeah, Kellen's so good. He's also the voice of the Vicetopus.
He is.
Yeah, we usually don't show off too much the extra like voices and sounds we do. But I mean, yeah, most of everything that we do is created from scratch when it comes to like a character voice and stuff. What did he call him in the thing? Fry something.
Not Fry Guy. No, it's
Sponge?
Fry Guy.
Sponge.
But
thing.
the actual, I think it was Sponge thing.
I'm gonna go ahead and play his little thing here.
Keeping to.
So it's funny because he's introducing what each sound is, but he has the filter on. So you're getting some pretty exclusive clips here.
Keeping to himself. Huh?
That's him noticing. He didn't introduce that one, but
Quick choke. And struggle then release.
and he's like,
Small grunt being dropped. Frustrated sigh. Revenge.
and he was also the Vicetopus.
General roars.
Oh yeah,
3 general roars.
because that's why I asked him.
Hey, real quick, while you're showing this audio, I need to let Frank out for a second because he's like whining at me. He needs to go out.
Go let that doggy out, man. Go
I'll
let him
be
do
right
it.
back. I'm the one who let
Sneaky.
the dog out.
Oh.
Sneaking up 2 variants.
See, this is crazy. Well, Kellen's so talented. I remember when he sent this audio, he captioned it like, "I was born to play a Vicetopus."
Owie. Long pain.
I told him I thought that was so funny too, just hearing him say "long pain" and just dying.
Long pain.
So yeah, we do try to do a lot of this kind of stuff. Usually it's just me, because as you'll see with like the regular scene here, oh, I lost it in the timeline. Oopsie doopsie. Where are we? Yeah, you don't really hear it as prominently as you would expect. You know, because there's not only just the other sound effects, like the ocean, the knife, and all of that, and the atmosphere. You hear the waves of the outside. You hear a little wind going. And then the background music, and then Horace talking over it. There's just so many layers of audio that most of the time I do it myself, just because it's like it's not even worth trying to make something intricate. But every now and then we come across a creature where it's like we got to add a little more pizzazz. So I poke Kellen. I'm like, "Hey, buddy, you want to be a little..." And, you know, Kellen, he's always down to do stuff like this. You know, it's never that big of a deal. I feel like I definitely make it more of a big deal than him. He would probably be down to do all of them if I really asked him. But, you know, when you're in the motion of like putting these scenes together, and it's like, okay, I'm on this part right now. I just need this sound real quick. Should I just record something myself right now and whip something up and keep going? Or should I make this a whole process where I put together like a sheet of different sounds and voices I need? You send it off to whoever's voicing it at the time. You get it back. So it's a balance. You got to pick and choose, like, you know, are you trying to fill a role or are you trying to make a point? And it worked out for the best, especially because in the most recent drawing matrix with Fry Guy, that Fry Guy sort of voice. Yeah, that's Kellen too, because most of them are you, right, Ryan? Like, in fact, I feel like all of them are you.
All the Matrix minis are me.
All the Matrix minis are you.
Aside from the Chocatrix, Buck Wild.
Well, who was that?
Someone that will not be named at the moment.
Okay. Who was the Hellboy Harley Quinn fusion? Was that you?
Oh no, that was I just took an audio clip of Harley Quinn for Multiverses and like messed with it audio wise.
Oh, okay, because I was like, I couldn't tell. I was like, damn, is that Ryan? That was
and the crowd goes nuts.
Yeah. That's innovative though. I wouldn't have even thought to do that. I probably would just ask him.
Yeah, no, I don't have access to a female voice on the ready all the time, so I work with what I got.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the rest of the Matrix minis and Fusion Lab minis are me usually, unless I, like with the Fry Guy one, ask someone specifically, be like, hey,
yeah,
sounds cool, can you do this?
So Kellen was already doing this, which is why we got him in it. But generally, you know, it's like when you're making the short, it's just easier for you to just do it yourself and whip something up. Yeah. So
if it's something that would like contribute to like a bigger thing, like for instance the like with Fry Guy, now if we use Fry Guy for something in the future or whatever else, we have Kellen as the thing.
Yeah,
but
now
like,
he's Fry Guy.
Like with Acid Grime, because I did Acid Grime in the mini. If we want to use him, if we don't like my voice, we would have to find someone else.
I liked your Acid Grime though. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Like I've had that alien on my brain for like 14, 15 years. I never thought about what he sounded like.
Yeah, no, I tried my mind.
I was just imagining he's almost kind of like he's kind of jowly, and it sounds like he's got something in the back of his mouth.
Right.
And he's just kind of is gross sounding.
It's like if you took Seth Rogen and drowned him a little bit, is the way that I think of the voice.
Now, I really have to use the bathroom because, of course, I do.
Go ahead,
what I'm going to do, I'm going to play this scene a little bit and then set you up with something to talk about, and then I'm going to take a brief intermission.
The Paraclept have an extremely paralytic touch and are forced to live on the deep surface of the planet to keep at bay the cerebrocrustacean's natural predator, the colossal cephalotor.
So we got a lot to talk about right here already, because for one, you said
Yeah.
this was like briefly based off of me, and then also just the fact of like giving them powers and the Vicetopus.
Yeah.
I'll BRB. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I gotta
no,
go
you're
so
good.
bad right
You're
now.
good. You're good. You're good. I got you. All right, so while he's gone, we're actually going to talk about Gremlins 2. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not doing that. Yeah, no. So with this scene, first off, this because I like naming all the little character assets and stuff. For this guy, I did call him Kuro the Tartist. Tart as in like repulse, kind of, because shocking and paralytic. But yeah, so with the species, the additional species in this episode, I like when Ben's aliens have cool powers and stuff, but I also feel like Ben needs more aliens that are just civilians. There you go, Frank. Get in here. Come on. Get up there. Go. You're getting up or no? Get in your chair. Jump. Good boy. Good boy. One second. I need to reclose my door. Sorry. One moment, peoples. Frank, you go over here. Do people want to say hi to Frank real quick? Come here. Yeah. Everyone say hi to Frank. Look at him. Frank, tell people hello. Okay. You sit there and chill. All right. So, yeah, no. I am very much an advocate that Ben should have more just like civilian species. Plus, with these ones specifically, they are stuck kind of under the rule of the cerebrocrustaceans, and I feel like if I gave them really cool powers and stuff like that, like why would they not be able to fight back? So with them, I made them more civilian species so that it wasn't more plausible that they could have just fought back against the cerebrocrustacean rule. But also, again, I think Ben should have more civilian species out in the universe. Not all of them are super-powered heroes and stuff like that. Now,
Right.
with these things, the Paraclips specifically, I did originally think to give them the paralytic thing purely because when I was doing the hybrid children, I wanted them to have cool powers. And I thought of like, oh yeah, no, a pom-pom crab, they use sea anemones to like paralyze stuff when they hit them and stuff. And like taking the paralytic power of a paraclept and then the shocking power of a cerebrocrustacean, putting those together goes for like a serious paralytic taser punch. And then I worked backwards into making the species. I was like, I'll make it like a sea anemone. I started designing stuff, and then I was like, oh wait a minute. The dude from Omniverse, the Sponge Gorb. And I looked at his design, I really liked it. I started matching my design more to that, and I was like, okay, we'll just make it that species.
That's kind of what
which-
Hershey and I did with Full Stop. Is like he
Yeah.
started as like an original thing, and then it was kind of just like, what if we just made it this? So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
The oh god, what was I gonna say?
Can the Paraclep move their eyes with their hands?
Yes, I am keeping that factoid. In some of the Ambient shots here, it probably doesn't really look like it because their eyes are just plopped on there. That's just the art style of Ambient. If you look at the Fry Guy Matrix Mini, I do have them like the eyes are deeper into the little squiggly bits. So I would say they can still take their eyes out and like hold them and move them around and stuff like that because that's a fun little thing.
Yeah.
The colossal cephalotor,
Some more wonderful puppet work from Chris.
more commonly known as the Vicetopus. Vicetopus
Also-
are extremely
Colossal cephalotor is not any. I made that up. Cephalotor being minotaur and cephalopod because I am an advocate that all the Nemetrix alien predators were supposed to be like mixes of different animals, and to me, the Vicetopus is a cow and an octopus. Like that's how I've always seen it, and that's
see
why
it.
I named it Cephalotor. Is because
Big cow squid?
Cow. big cow, an octo cow, yeah.
Massive cephalopod-like creatures, predatory to the cerebrocrustacean for two reasons. First, their immensely outmatched physical strength can easily overpower and shatter the protective shell of a cerebrocrustacean, hindering their soft insides exposed for the vice-versa's appetite. And second, they are covered in an extremely thick rubber-like epidermis, making them non-conductive and immune to
These are all great explanations for why they're predators, by the way.
nearly all electrical attacks.
Also, I love the little go back, and it's just the.
Oh,
Immune to nearly all electrical attacks.
Yeah, a little.
Fortunately, however, it is also extremely absorbent, making paralytics and toxins extremely effective.
Get back!
back, foul octo cow. Another thing I actually just thought of. The Vicetopus has the super absorbent. That's why it works on them. The reason Paraclept can't fight back against Cerebrocrustacean is because they have a hard shell. It's like a solid thing that's not going to absorb the paralytics.
Yeah.
Like they probably could if they got their squiggly bits underneath the shell cap, but like they're not getting a lot of chances like that. So they just kind of go along with the stuff and act their role in society.
Right.
Though still dangerous, this paralytic protection has deterred most active Vicetopus, resulting in 60% less Cerebrocrustacean fatalities, at the cost of a 20% increase to Paraclept fatalities yearly.
We sacrifice the fries to keep the brains alive.
On that somber note, let's head over to the colorful scenic homeworld of the Paraclept Encephalonus 3.
And here's the pick out.
Yep. Now this already began a whole bunch of new assets. Like for one, having his tentacle folded over like this was a new thing.
Dude, him falling into frame like that looks so good though.
Thank you.
Like the little bit of the head swaying down as he's
yeah. He gets into
like I was so happy with that.
And then his tail, his cape, and his wings all operate, and he's got this the shadow there too. That was a little tricky figuring out. I've been trying to push the boundaries. Now, Kyber's design.
This was a surprise to me.
Yes, because
I thought it was just gonna be silhouette.
You did the original concept art for it, which was just him fused with
Tyrannopede.
The Tyrannopede. And then I did the sequence at the end of the Apoplexian episode myself as a surprise to you.
So you surprised me again.
Yeah, because I did a little bit of this and that. And with him, now that we wanted to see him full body, we didn't have a design. And I figured, like, I only wanted to draw this guy once. So I'm going to design him as I draw him. So his entire design, which I'm very thankful for for how he was received so well, is because he's completely improvised. There was no concept art. There was no multiple passes. I didn't even show this to Ryan till it was done. I just fucking winged it. But
so cool.
I'm very happy. I will say I took a lot of inspiration from your methods. So I do feel like I couldn't have done this without you in a way. And his gun here is the same color scheme as Dr. Psychobos' lab to sort of imply that Dr. Psychobos built this gun for him. And you see this all the Horuses he's hunted with this gun. He's used multiple weapons.
I never even saw that detail. That's so cool.
He's killed 38 Horuses with this gun.
Jeez.
And that's just this gun. So yeah, so Kyber's design I just made up as I went, and I'm thankful it worked out.
It looks so good.
And also, yeah, with Kyber, we came up with this whole backstory for him, which we will.
Oh God!
I feel like we should probably save it for a full video or something.
Okay, because I would like to do something with the story.
I do want to say at least the biggest question is, like, if he's got all these Nemetrix abilities, why is he still using a gun? And at the end of his whole arc that we have for him, it's more of him just like he sees the respect of the hunt. Like, he's only truly the greatest huntsman ever is if he can do hunting based just on the pure talent of hunting. You know, using any of these abilities is cheating in a way. And it also, it helps keep him grounded because, you know, the Nematrix alone with one transformation can make you start losing it, as we saw in the show proper when he initially fused with Tyrannopede. But now with 10, he really has to concentrate and has to make sure he's okay. And he's like not going to lose his mind. And the concentration and the focus and the patience you need to be a hunter, honing in on his hunting skills, is what helps him repress his insanity. Whereas if he was just going around shooting like, you know, muculator balls and using hypnotic powers and slicing at you, this and that, you know, he's just going to go nuts. So being a hunter is about respect for the game. It also helps him not go insane. Respect for the game and don't go insane. You know what I'm saying? And last thing about...
I was going to say, Joe asks what type of fusion would this be? This is a Frankenfusion. I'd categorize it as that.
Yeah. One thing I do like about him, which I'm most proud of, which is kind of a little thing, is with his tail. I originally drew it where it was just the Penuncian tail, which is where this little squid end comes for. And then you would see the Vistapus coil wrapped around. And then I was inspired by how you fuse things to flip the textures. So it's a Penuncian tail with a Vistapus texture, and then a Vistapus tentacle wrapped around with a Penuncian texture. And I was like, yes, I'm channeling Ryan through myself right now.
Rob, I'm so actually really proud.
Thank you.
I just noticed his leg is a Hypnotic's face.
Yeah, right? Like, I used his mouth as, like, his toe.
Yeah, dude, that's so...
Yeah.
Rob, I am so fucking proud of this.
Thank you.
Like, that you did fan-fucking-tastic. I can't think of any way that I would have changed it. It's so good.
Oh, I'm happy to have your approval. And to Joe, to answer your question, the blaster was done in the same way. I just made it up as I was drawing it. I drew like some shapes and I started filling it in with detail, and that's about it.
Now, Rob, Rob, one big thing with fusions and stuff, though, would you have a name for this?
This fusion, I would call it... I'm trying to think. Well, I was thinking of trying to fuse the name like Predator and Terminator. I don't know. I'll come up with one because we're gonna put his still on the wiki eventually. Yeah. I'm pretty sure if it's not already up there.
If you want a suggestion,
yeah, you got one.
The Zoo.
The Zoo. That's perfect.
This is Zoo Kyber.
The Zoo Kyber. That's so fucking perfect. Yeah. Okay. This is Zoo Kyber form. I love it. And there he is. Now this whole
end
scene,
of episode. Bye.
Yeah. So everything you just saw took me about 4 days to edit. Everything you're seeing now took me so long. Well, I also stopped. Like, honestly, the bulk of the episode we finished like a month ago, maybe even a month and a half ago. And then we had to do a whole bunch of stuff in between, which at the moment, I'm not going to lie, I don't even remember. We're just always doing so much stuff.
Yeah.
In fact, we're at a point now, not to spoil too much, where we're doing a whole bunch of stuff we probably won't even be able to talk about for a long time. So it's like, you know, from the outside looking in, it's like, hey, what were you doing all this time? Well, we can't tell you.
I know one thing like with this scene specific of like in between the production was the entire like Ultimate Overhauled finale episode.
Oh yeah, that took a bit of time.
That
and I was
entire...
also, what did we even upload? I don't even remember. I gotta go to our channel. I'm in a perpetual state of working on shit all the time. Like I don't even think about it. All the little big XD. Little X Big D videos. I did those breakdowns. I did the Kevin episode. We did the Omniverse stream. I do commissions.
It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, we did the remember the 5YL cast stream? That was only a month ago. Oh my god.
Oh god, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was such a fantastic stream too. Oh my god, I love. Go watch the 5YL cast stream as well as the Omniverse anniversary stream. Pay no attention to my sporadic perspective right now. That's literally just me being crazy. But here we are. So funniest thing about this sequence is I have a couple of things to note. So that rebooting animation was reused from the Lizard episode as well as one more. I think it was the Sonorosia episode.
No, but I thought it was the Ledger Domain, wasn't it?
When he was
When
oh
it
yeah,
comes
yeah,
to
yeah, yep, it was.
species.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here I was trying to model his Psychobos' lab as much as I could off of the show, and then I realized he has 2 labs, and I didn't realize that until I was like halfway designing. So this location is kind of a hybrid of both his labs. He has his lab on Encephalonus, and he has lab on, I think, Earth or wherever else he was. And I only noticed that because the wiki has them differently sectioned. And I was like, why are these photos not over here? It's like, oh, because it's 2 different locations. And I was trying to design this area as if it like he only had 1 lab. I didn't even know. And also, so when we were doing the Horus contest, which you can find out more information on our channel if you're not aware of that whole escapade. But essentially, we had another Design Your Own Horus contest, and the winner gets to feature their design in the episode. Originally, it was just going to be, you'd see it hanging right here. It was just going to be like, oh shit, there it is. But when we had Dards win the contest, we put more of a focus on him just because of the nature of his design.
We really like it.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, like we didn't even choose Dards to win because of the ability to do that. We thought of that after when we were doing that. When we were like writing the scene with him in originally. So later on, V906 right here, when you see him transform into the freaky Zaskare hybrid, he was going to be the one to chase Forrest down the hallway. And they were going to be the ones to have that whole conversation. And Forrest was going to convince Zeke Horus here to let him go as a reflection of Forrest becoming notably more of an organic like being with thoughts and feelings rather than just another Horus. But then we just, with Dards, it just kind of made sense to make it be him, especially because like he's gigantic. He wouldn't have really worked in the background too much. He would take up too much room. So we just had that Psychobos teleport the Cybot away, and then Dards come in and he gets to have the whole moment. So if it was if any other Horus won but Dards, it would have just been hanging here and Psychobos would have gotten to it. So I feel like that was an interesting change in the script.
Whoa, where am I?
I will say too, this is the first episode we've ever had a Horus unit interacting with another Horus unit.
Yes, we've talked about that so much.
Yeah, no, it's like originally for the apoplexia episode, there was going to be a whole opening scene of like Horus is in like a locker room type of situation and like talking about that and be like, oh, I don't want to go to apoplexia. I don't want to get destroyed.
Yeah, like where'd you get assigned? Apoplexia. Oh man, sucks for you.
Yeah, no, it was going to be like a whole thing where it's like a new Horus gets printed and it's like, oh yeah, no, they need you to go to apoplexia. Go ahead. That's your
and all the Horus is like, he's not coming back.
Poor guy. Yeah, but we've been wanting to do something with Horus interacting with another Horus for so long.
Yeah.
And then the Dards thing just adds on to it even more, and this ended up being so satisfying, and I'm so happy with how it turned out.
Right. Yeah, this is the first time you ever actually see 2 Horuses talk. So it's
Psst, over here. Oh, another Horus unit. Good evening. I am the Orion IT Systems Model V90. Shut up! He'll hear you.
So this is kind of already showing like the differences in Forrest's personality, because Forrest is a more evolved unit. He's starting to really gain some type of sentience none of the other Horuses have. So you see him reacting much more like detached to the situation, like, oh yeah, This is what's going on. I'm Horace. I'm here to do my job.
This is
And
what my
Horace is just
programming
like,
has me say when
Dude,
I
don't you
interrupt."
see what's going on right here? We gotta get you out of here, man. This is crazy. So,
You're gonna fucking die.
yeah.
Let's get out of here.
This Forrest is much more self-aware than all the other Horaces. And this is kind of an example of that.
He'll hear you. I'm going to get you out of here, okay? Oh, well, thank you. Where is here, by the way? I'll explain later.
I love how cheeky. Like, oh, thank you. Where is here, by the way?
Yeah.
Like, I just it.
He doesn't really
I'm
get
so-
it.
You having his eyes like looking around and stuff too just sells it so much more. I love
Thank
how
you.
it turned out.
Yeah, animating a Horace, I've kind of just gotten so used to it now, but it is quite a task. Like I animate his whole head first, and then I go back and animate his head moving around his body, and then I go back one more time and do however his body and his head move, and with the squashes and stretches. And there's also like pick and choosing, because like every time he blinks and every time his eyes move, and even when he like moves from one area to another, has a bunch of sound effects to it. But sometimes I have to make some sound effects louder or more quiet. Like if Horace is saying something really important, I don't have the sound effect for his blink as loud or anything else. But like here, like you can pretty much hear like every single thing he does.
I am the Orion IT Systems Model V.
See right there, you don't hear it as much.
Nine. Shut up! He'll hear you. I'm going to get you out of here, okay? Oh, well, thank you. Where is here, by the way?
See, there you hear everything, because he's like, we're playing up like, oh, Horace is a robot.
I'll explain later. Is your communication system still working? Uh-oh.
And the reveal of Dr. Psychobos.
God,
So we had a lot of fun with him.
Yeah, no. First, he was super fun to design. I don't want to say I regret the design, but damn it, did I make this harder for us unintentionally. God. First off, animation error, the first, which is my bad because I was an idiot and thought the door was going to be on the other side of the lab.
Oh, was he flipped?
He's completely flipped. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
as
no, I drew it
as he
this- yeah.
turns. As he turns, have him turn.
Oh, yeah.
All the
I
limbs
see
are on the opposite sides. Yeah, that's
Oops.
my bad.
That's
'Cause I
okay.
drew him from the
yeah,
wrong angle.
because I did all of the backgrounds and stuff from here. We worked on this scene in different sequences. So I was on trash duty. I did the pile. I did the hanging horses in the wall, and you were working on Psychobos, and you were working on you did the initial pass on Darts.
This is the first time too, that like doing a puppeted character and everything. First off, the light, how you did that looks so good.
Oh, right here.
Um,
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, with the door opening. But this is the first time with a puppet where we went in with a plan, and it worked out.
Yeah.
So
because we did the pill
and-
bug, so I knew how to do the feet doing this.
yeah, no. Plus the in the past with ones like the Foley scene in Apoplexia or big old bunny Eggman in Aegis Orbit, we had a rough idea of what we wanted to happen. Then we'd have me draw all the stuff, and then you just go off of what I drew. With this one, we mapped out. We didn't do like full out storyboards for it, but we did like, this is what's happening. These are the angles and poses that we need for him. Draw those specifically,
Yep.
and make sure they're separate parts so we can move them. And it worked out so well with this time. The Psychobos puppet, I think, took me 5 or 6 days in total to complete, because I would go through sketching everything up, doing all of the line art for everything, then all the color pass, then all the shade pass, and then any corrections needed. I will say with his design, I love it and I'm happy with it. But God, I did not make this easy on us.
No. And then
I don't know why I gave him extra limbs, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I was animating a lot of limbs, but he came out cool, so
Greetings, O dark and spooky one.
like you see all of his limbs moving. Here, let me move him over a little bit. Like his arms, every limb moves at like their joints and stuff. His eyes move, his brows move. Originally, I was gonna do his mustache twitching and stuff too, which I did every now and then. and then all the sound effects for how he moves.
Greetings, O dark and spooky one.
So now we get to talk about a fun little story, which I've been wanting to address, because it's a very interesting a path that we led to Dr. Psychobos. So originally we knew we wanted Psychobos featured in the episode, just to set up the whole rest of the Zeke plot line. And Kellen was like, I got the perfect guy for Dr. Psychobos. And he connected us with David Chen, who's Dr. Psychobos right here. And I put together a couple of clips from Omniverse and sent it to him. And then he would like try to do his own spin on it and send it back and be like, hey, is this what you're looking for? Because a lot of voice actors, even if we were willing to just give them the part, they're people of honor, to put it simply. Like, they would rather audition anyways, which I always respect, because they really get it. Because like they might be able to consider or think of variables and factors you might not have themselves. So he wanted to audition regardless. So we let him audition, and he gave this performance. He was fantastic. But then, since he knew this was based off a character who already existed, Psychobos from Omniverse, played by Eric Bauza, he said he would feel the most comfortable taking on this role if we reached out to Eric Bauza first and let him know we were doing this. And we were all just like, I don't know, Eric is like, Eric Bauza, he's in everything now. He's Bugs Bunny and all that. But we were like, okay, sure. So Kellen reached out to Eric just to give him the offer, be like, hey, we wanted to offer you this role. And if you're not able to do it, no biggie. We have someone who can fill the shoes. And it turns out Eric was actually interested. He responded to the conversation, and he was like, he was down. So we were like, so we have Eric Bauza as Dr. Psychobos. That's nuts. And we wanted to make it worth his time. So we went back, and we were already rewriting the script because we were changing darts. We wrote him like a much meatier part. Because, it's not even just the fact of who Eric Bauza is, but it's the fact that we're having a Ben 10 alumni reprise their role. We only did that once with Max, and we did have David Sobolov, who worked on Ben 10 as well, but he wasn't reprising his role as either Vin or Upgrade. So this would have been like a huge surprise, where we're having Eric Bauza back as Dr. Psychobos. Unfortunately, scheduling ended up not allowing for it, and it's to nobody's fault. Things like that happen, and that's just the nature of the beast. Things might line up, and they end up not working out. We give Eric our best. We don't hold anything against him. But so it ended up going back to David. But I'm very thankful that David even wanted to make that kind of gesture. Because he was like, yeah, I'll do this for you, but you need to make sure like Eric knows I'm taking this role from him, which I feel like, again, a lot of voice actors have a lot of honor amongst each other.
Super respect.
Yeah. But I mean, now we had like this big meaty scene for Dr. Psychobos. So David he was like, okay, yeah, he came back, he came through.
He did a fantastic
He did so good. A lot of people were like, is this Eric? Because that's just how good David is. But I'm very, regardless, like, we didn't even originally, like, conceptualize, we didn't put Dr. Psychobos in here because we wanted Eric. We put him in here because we wanted Dr. Psychobos, and David handed us the opportunity to try to get Eric. And there was a reality where that happened, but things change. But I'm very happy with David's performance, and not to spoil too much, but David is a wonderful dude. We might be working with him again in the future. But yeah, so that's the story of why Dr. Psychobos has such a significant part in this episode. As well as in canon, we do have a little bit of lore. So he's like this because he was stranded in Mad Ben's dimension for a long time. Is that right, Ryan?
5 years, yes. He literally, dude has only been out of the Mad Ben dimension for a few months. Like, I would say maybe a week or two after Zisker possessed the Horus in the Ender episode is whenever he was brought back. Zisker brought him back specifically to help with this plan. Because like in the data records and stuff in the Horus database, it's like, oh yeah, no, Phobos got left in this dimension by Ben. We're not worried about like trying to get him or anything. He's
and
there.
he has the door to anywhere now. So
yeah,
he can get around if he really wants to. So Scare's got some pull.
Yeah, with Psychobos' full out design and everything, the idea behind it is very simply he's an aqua respiratory required species that was trapped in a desert wasteland for 5 years. The reason his body is like elongated and messed up, it actually feeds into a theory that I had about Psychobos from Omniverse, in that he's a cyborg. He's listed as a cyborg, and I know he's got the little nodes and shit in his brain, but I was like, I don't think he's a cyborg because of those. I think he's a cyborg because like his whole body shape is a little bit different from a regular cerebral crustacean. I think like his body is made of metal and like even has those like little sectional stripes going down the middle of it. It made me keep thinking like, oh, this is like a tin can crab. It's a can of crabs. But so that's the idea behind this, is that his body would get damaged over time in the Mad Ben wasteland, either from like just interactions with people there, like just beating the shit out of him, or like Mad Ben himself getting loose again and just tormenting Psychobos and stuff. And he's just using whatever he can get his hands on or his claws on to fix up his body and everything, which is why it's like all this scrap pieces and stuff like that. As far as the elongated thing, that is to feed into the idea of what was it again, just the fact that he was mechanical. I always thought that Psychobos in Omniverse would have been able to like separate his body out to get taller, just because I thought that would be kind of fun. So this is him doing that, to be just a taller, more intimidating thing. You do see all these wires and guts and stuff like that. That's his organs and stuff just being exposed to the air. Because he doesn't like up. Yeah, he can shlunk his body down if he wants, but
when animating Psychobos, I do the whole scene focusing on each limb once to make sure they're all in pattern and doing what they need to. Then the eyes, then the head. So essentially, you're just going through the whole scene over and over again until each thing lines up, and then doing a final like body tilt and squash and stretch. So I've heard this dialogue hundreds of times.
Oh yeah, do it as it plays.
Yeah.
Greetings, oh dark and spooky one. The alterations you...
I already forgot.
I've heard it so many times.
Alterations you requested are complete. After that scatterbrain huntsman's last delivery.
No, I don't remember as much. I was in a trance, man.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
Oh, Sword of Time does ask, so it doesn't have anything to do with the brain expansion thing? I would say nah.
No.
It's just his body's fucked
You
up.
thought you were smart? You thought you had us figured out?
So does Psychobos.
I bet you feel real silly right now, huh?
Wait, so if Mad Ben took back the power in Madverse, what happened to Rook?
We'll find out one day if it matters.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not thinking about the Mad Dimension that hard.
Also, hi, Crystal. Welcome to stream.
Crystal. No, I'd imagine, like, I don't know, like, whatever happened with Mad Rook, his defenses weren't enough to overtake Mad Ben coming to power, because he has the Omnitrix, you know?
Yeah,
like, what's Rook gonna do?
Like
he
the way that I
busts out
saw...
the Toku Star, and then...
Actually, I was going to say, with Psychobos' design, that crack going across, like, his face and head shell and everything, literally the idea that I had was that, like, Psychobos talking crap to Mad Ben, he turns into Way Big, and just puts his thumb over his eye and starts squeezing. Like...
Yeah, Mad Ben was torturing him. He's sadistic.
Yeah, for fun.
Yeah, just for
Yeah.
the lulls.
6.
Head Wager has already lured Tennyson away, so now it is time to act. Transfer 50 units here to assist with the remaining assembly. Send the rest back to the plumbers.
What's that?
What is that?
Whoa!
Oh, what is?
Whoa!
Oh my gosh! What
And
is
I'm
that?
still using the same Zaskare puppet from Anur. I really gotta.
Yeah,
change
no,
him up.
you made a good puppet.
Thank you.
Someone, or what was it? Sketchy Dude does say, the relation between Psychobos and Encephalonus, is there one? I never straight up actually decided. I'm gonna be honest, because I know when in designing Encephalonus, I did kind of take a little bit of inspiration from Psychobos, but that was more so because of like I wanted to show differentiating of like the color and body variation
of the wind.
Cerebra crustaceans. Yeah, because if you notice, there's another blue crab earlier in the episode as well. And then even Sarah, or not Sarah, but the leader character that ended up becoming Sarah later, she's an orange crab, but she has Psychobos's like elongated head shape rather than the more compressed one you see with Brainstorm. So
Yeah.
I would say he is not a descendant of Encephalonus. He is just a very similar looking like crab.
He's a crab. This is the only shot I had in my head when we originally wrote this scene. Seeing Forrest look over a pile of trash, looking at VO9 and all of them. Everything else I didn't really see it come together.
It looks so good.
Thank
Once
you.
their community
Also, a thing that you didn't bring up yet, all the little like Horus on the hanging hooks and stuff, like you did all of those, and
Oh, yeah.
they look stellar. Like
Thank
this
you.
one that has the two squids stacked together or whatever. Like
Yeah.
these look so cool. You just one day I was working on the puppet, and you're like, "Hey, check these out," and you posted like 5 of them. I'm like, "These look awesome."
Yeah,
What the hell?
if you're a tier 3 patron, you have access to all these layers individually. And you can see every layer of what went into it. The sky wiggling, the horses moving around in the background, and the scare, and that was in the video, and then this and that, and there's just a lot going on. But yeah, I mean, I figured each horse has like 2 squids inside of them, because like there's the head squid and the body squid. They're double
Oh,
squidded
that's a
up.
good point.
Yeah,
That's a good point. I never actually considered that.
and then
That makes more sense.
he moves out of the way, and he's like, "Look at my friend." So I will say I cheated a little bit here. I animated Psychobos's all of his arms and his legs and his eyes to the dialogue for every sentence except for right here. If you watch his body, his keyframes just start repeating after a while. And right around here, his body isn't really moving based on what he's saying. But I
It's just
figured-
kind of moving.
yeah, it's just kind of moving. I think except for this arm right here where it goes in. But I did just loop the keyframes because I was like, I'm so fucking sick of this crab, dude.
Yeah, no, it works. It looks good.
Yeah.
You mean our army?
See, that all kind of
This
matches.
pitiful Calvin technology couldn't have evolved without my cerebral
And I think right here,
crustacean
The
genius.
keyframes are just kind of doing
Asmund
whatever.
himself would marvel in terror at the improvements I
It still
made
kind of
to the
it still kind of matches though,
glorified
you know.
camcorders.
Yeah.
Infusing these units with
And I did this because I was sick of animating it.
Yeah,
I
no,
was-
that's
I was like, fuck this. Here's a hologram
Yeah.
display. And it works though. It looks so intentional.
ecto.
And these are actually the ectoneurite DNA things from the Anur episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that you did.
How did I not know?
I tried to find the original asset and I couldn't, so I was like, I'll just redraw it.
Oh, if you would have asked, I
Right,
could have just sent it
DNA.
to you. I got it all on a hard drive.
It was like 3 a.m.
I was
Will
awake that
make their
entire time.
cancer chambers ready to contain the dark matter.
Yeah, so basically he's upgrading the Horuses with ectoneurite DNA and enhancing their capture chambers to take in that dark matter. These are assets directly from 5YL. I didn't draw any of these new.
Reusing assets.
Reusing
Let's do it
assets.
more.
We got real lazy at this point.
matter you require. This is
I love this part right here though, because I actually did this because I only had you draw him for the final shot when he comes in on the platform, but you gave me all the legs separately. And I was like, well, this puppet's pretty flexible. I kind of want to use it more than once. So I did this shot where you see him walk into frame.
I'm going to be honest, the only reason they were separate legs is because I thought whenever he gets the what are you doing? I thought you were going to have him like tantrum a little bit more and like kicking his feet like, what are you doing?
Oh.
Why?
Yeah.
You're ruining everything. My birthday sucks now because of
My
you.
birthday sucks, Mom. You rented the whole Chuck E. Cheese and no one came.
You rented the whole Chuck E. Cheese, and Chucky's not even here.
Chucky's not even here.
This is a feat of science itself, and I use the term loosely.
Oh, you know what's funny is I only did this too because I didn't want to animate him pressing a button. Because originally he was going to turn around and press a button and mutate him. But you also gave me like his head open.
Yeah, no, so with that actually, I'm going to be fully honest, the reason I even had that as an asset, because we didn't plan that asset at all for the brain and everything.
Yeah.
It was like 2 or 3 a.m. for me, and I was just drawing and working on this, and found myself drawing his exposed brain under the shell piece, and I'm like, wait, why am I drawing this? We don't need it. This wasn't part of what we needed. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to finish it, because I think it looks cool. And it ended up being used anyway, so it's perfect.
Yeah, no, it worked out. Yeah, because I also use it later on too. But yeah, somehow doing this was easier than having him turn around and press a button, if you could believe it. And then
No,
similar to the glitching, each one of these frames is a very specific
Custom.
calculation. Yeah, there's no like auto lightning flash button in Premiere or something. You got to do that you got to do it manually.
This ended up being so cool.
Yeah.
I'm so happy with how this turned out.
He bursts out the tentacles, and then he gets the skin graft, and then tentacles appear on his head. And I love this shot right here too.
Turning his head.
Now
Gross.
I wanted to do a full transformation all in one shot just for
It's gonna be a lot, though.
artistic integrity, but I couldn't figure it out in time. So this is as far as it gets, and then we cut away to Forrest's reaction, and then we come back and it's new assets, and it feels a little cheap, but
I think it works for the time crunch.
Yeah.
It works really well.
yeah,
Because like that would have taken us at least another 2 or 3 days to do.
right. If I was gonna do
'Cause
a full transformation all in one shot, we would need so many assets.
Also, this paused. Tiny arms.
Tiny arms, yep. And if you look, it's a Horus unit upside down. Here's his body, his tentacles, his eyes.
It's like ripped open at the
Yeah.
mouth, which I believe the concept art is in the tier 3 rewards thing for these Cybots. I did a couple different things, but the main idea that I wanted with them, well, 2 main ideas. One, because both Ectoneurites and Horus have tentacles, I was like, let's push that further and make it scary. But the other thing was the reason it's like the head is flipped over and ripped open or whatever is a scare. The whole thing of like he can turn his head upside down and stuff like that. And there's always the argument of which way is supposed to be the correct way. With the Cybots, which way is supposed to be the correct way? I don't know. With the head being popped open though, that's actually a cerebrocrustacean physical detail of their heads opening to reveal their brains. So it's literally, this is little bits of Horus, Ectoneurite anatomy, and in a sense, cerebrocrustacean anatomy. So that's why it's a Cybot.
Yeah, Psychobos. And I actually animated this shot twice because I didn't like how it came out the first time. I think one of the video diaries has the original transformation in it, but I did not like how it looked, so I went back and redid it. And you can see like his tentacles hardening into these weird ectoneurite things, and
Good evening. I am am the C300 Crustacean IT Systems Ecto Improved Unit Model V906. But you can call me Cybot, and I use the term loosely.
Yep. So yeah, this would be the Horus that chases Forrest down and all of that if we didn't have darts.
Like that was the plan.
Yeah.
For your sake, I hope you...
As hell.
What's up?
I said, but we did this bit because Dards is just dope as hell.
Yeah.
Like,
no, Darts was real
dude,
cool.
The dude who designed Dards for the contest name is Toon Drawing. I still don't know if he's seen the episode because I've been going through and like trying to reply to as many comments as I can, just generally now to help with engagement. I have not seen a single one be like, "Oh, that's my robot. Thank you guys so much." Like I actually worry and kind of want to make sure and like send an email to him, be like, "Hey, if you didn't see it yet, your guy is
so
in the
you know we
episode,
chose you,
and
man.
He's fully animated.
You wrote a whole
too.
scene.
Yeah, like we liked it so much. It's a full like.
It's
we
kind
liked
of
it
the
so much,
nature of these
production was
contests,
pushed.
though. Like when we did the alien contest in 5YL with So Brief, Statter, and Hack and Slash. I never
don't know
heard
if
from
they
those
saw
dudes
them.
again. I never.
And
heard
I feel
from them
bad
again.
about that. I'm hoping they saw it because like.
Yeah.
Oh,
I hope they.
it's-
I mean, I imagine they might have, but like maybe they're just not interactive in the community. Same way with even Portaler, like the kid who won the contest to have.
Oh
his
my
aliens.
god! I didn't
Yeah.
even think about
What
that.
happened to him? Like
Oh,
who
I-
made Portaler? I don't know.
I really hope that they saw it and just like know that we do this stuff because we love the community and we love doing stuff that it just
You never know.
also so sketchy asking how long did it take to get the Cybot voice right. I think we only did like 2 passes on it.
I love how you
And-
only name drop when Sketchy asks a question. I just
I
realized
name
that.
drop everyone.
Are
No,
you
I
sure?
name drop everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I just want to make sure everybody's getting their time in the spotlight. My bad.
No.
Okay. All right. My bad.
See, like for instance, Sketchy said again a little bit of Horus, Ghost, and Crab Delicious.
Oh yeah, and also Sketchy up here. What did he say? He said jump gate. What else?
I
did
was making
Sketchy
a
say?
Crystal said
He
that
also
last
said,
bit. I was making a
maidenless.
joke.
Oh my bad. Everybody's
No,
sketchy
but-
now. Honestly, let's just call him
Yeah.
Sketchy. The chat is
Hi,
sketchy.
Sketchies.
Yeah.
No, that's the term for our fan base is the sketches.
The sketch.
That
would actually be pretty sick.
Oh God.
Okay.
I mean,
no, we're getting
we've
off
been
topic.
trying.
My bad.
Yeah, no, sorry.
Okay.
But
no, yeah, I was going to get into the whole thing.
the Cybot question, the Cybot voice. Really, with that, we wanted it to be. I tried to do something. The first one was a mixture of
Horus's voice and Siscare's voice, but something a bit more in the middle. And it's kind of like this, and sounds like whatever.
but the note that Rob gave me when we were doing the directing, which I did record that session, I'll have that as a video sometime in the future.
Yeah, we recorded all of the ending stuff to do like another behind the scenes thing.
But the one note that Rob had was like, make it more sporadic, like because he's transforming and like probably jittering around and stuff like him.
Oh, so this one, but a bit more crazy and like almost like
I at one something I thought of after the fact that I really wish I messaged you on is I wanted to give him the Psychobo stutter a little bit. So it's like,
good evening. I am the Cybot.
Oh yeah, Ecto improved unit.
Improved.
Yeah,
And like,
because like, but I will say because the next episode is like the finale of the Zeke arc. We've already announced
Right.
that. You'll see Cybots again, and I definitely am taking that note in with Cybots for the next episode.
I do want to talk a little bit about that at the end too, without giving
Yeah.
away too much. Just the idea of the Zeke arc in general.
Yes.
But yeah, let's continue. Hi, Bruce.
confidence equals competence. If there are any slip-ups, I will send you right back to that wasteland I rescued you from.
So that's kind of just saying like Zeke is the reason we call him Zeke. Zeke. Addy.
Everyone knows we
It
call
started
him
with
Zeke
the
at this
Greg joke.
point.
Did they? Okay, I hope so.
They literally anyone that has a long name in Ben 10, we have a short form for.
Yeah.
Like Psychobos is just Psy. Like it's just easier. Kyber is Kyber because that's an easy name.
Yeah. We got Zeke,
Add
Addy,
weight
Greg.
check. Addy,
Yeah.
Fred Waiter.
Expel
Actually,
your
fun fact
wounds.
too. That's how Forrest is being like how he got the name Forrest is because we were like, we can't keep calling him Horus, and I don't want to call him VO4. So we just started calling him
Right.
Forrest in production, and like that just turned into his name.
Yeah. It's still sort of like a Mad Ben, Bad Ben, Nega Ben
Yeah.
situation where it's like it's still like it's his official name, but it's like a production name. Like in universe, I don't know if he
He's
calls
still just a
himself
Forrest.
Forrest yet.
No,
Yeah, I don't
he
think he
still
has
is
his own name.
Forrest.
But we call him Forrest and identify him because at this point he's definitely not just a Horus anymore. In fact, I feel like he should have his own wiki page at this point.
I do too, in all honesty,
because
And
he
which
has a
we
whole
can-
history and continuity. I feel like I kind of
does.
want to make a wiki page for him.
down.
Yeah, but that's a whole thing.
My determination exceeds all error.
What was that?
Oh,
I love that.
I love with the aw at the end too. It's just
Yeah.
oh.
What was that?
So I remember in the script, the thing that gave it away is because we all throughout the lizard episode he was glitching and everything, and he was gonna keep glitching here, but I feel like we decided afterwards where like once he teleported to Brainstorm's Homeworld, he doesn't glitch anymore. So instead of his glitching giving it away, he just ducks and accidentally knocks something over.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the glitching too, it's something we could have kept doing, but like in this scene where he's supposed to be hidden and the glitching reveals him, why was he not glitching before? Like,
Right.
It just,
yeah.
it-
And it's
it
also kind of
created too much-
significance. Like maybe the glitching was him trying to break past his existential inhibitor.
Yes, which that is
Which he's
broken
now
as-
broken past completely. Now he's
Yeah.
he's alive. Sort of.
He's
I
alive.
mean, he still
Well,
like
there's
wasn't born, but you know. I mean, he's a
Actually-
weird scenario.
Something I just thought of too, indirectly, because the way the production was scheduled for this episode, we originally intended it to come out the weekend before Halloween. So
Oh yeah.
it was
this
gonna
be
be
a big spook.
yeah, it was gonna be an indirect like Halloween episode that's not a Halloween episode in exact theme, but like it kind of you can kind of tell still though based off the fact of like it has a lot of like mad scientist Frankenstein vibes, and then the scare and like it's definitely a spooky episode.
Right.
And I just thought that was funny because like I didn't intend that at all, but it still ended up happening, and then it didn't even fucking release for Halloween.
Yeah.
So, like,
Typical Inkton
Hap-
fashion.
Happy Thanksgiving, boo!
What was that?
Beep.
So there lies our elusive galvanic pest.
See, this is one of those scenes because like you hear it, you see him blink, but you don't really hear it too much.
Galvanic
Overpower
Oh, fuck.
the emotion.
my
And
security.
there's the one episode curse word that we need to
because
avoid the
Forrest
censor.
can swear because he's like human.
know.
system
So
has
he did
been
a couple
flagging
of
your
things. It was
intrusions
really
for months. I thought about capturing you, but my scans indicate that you're different from the others. More evolved.
so
Yo,
the
real
whole,
quick,
yeah.
no, sorry. Just the subtle little movements you gave with the brows, or like his claw curling up as if he's like itching his chin, thinking like it just.
Oh, thank you.
You brought him to life so well. It looks so good.
Thank
Oh.
you. Yeah, no, he was a lot of fun to mess with. I was gonna say this is our first like external acknowledgement of Forrest's newfound consciousness, with Psychobos being like, "Yeah, I knew you were here, and you're trying to break out all the other Horuses, but I was kind of curious, like, what are you?" So he knew this was happening because Forrest, ever since he teleported to Brainstorm's home planet, has been trying to free all the other Horuses, which didn't end up working because they got cobbled into Dards. Another thing that originally Psychobos would have just recaptured them and they turned them back into Cybots. But
He's
now,
like,
like, you
I'm
know,
going to have fun with this one.
yeah, but with Dards, it's like, oh, every Horus that you thought you saved, I turned into this big mutant monster.
He literally did this as a fuck you specifically.
Yeah. And he's been letting him live just to examine him. But now that he overheard him and Zeke's plans, he was like, all right, well, now I have to kill you. Like, you made me do this, Forrest. Come on.
But my
He's gonna send me back to
curiosity
the
has been exceeded. As for your pointless attempts at liberating your squiddy siblings, they always end up right back here.
Good evening. We are death.
Okay. So, love this. With Dards, I drew him for the contest first, but knowing that we were gonna have him a thing in the episode, I had done it in layers intentionally so we could like have him shimmy a little bit or something. But that was still even before we planned on the whole scene with him and everything. So, he does like initially I did make him as a puppet, but then Rob did have to go and make a bunch of additional assets for all the different angles and stuff like that too.
Yeah, like when you see his head turn or his body turn and his arms. So
Yeah, plus-
you did the first Dards, and whenever you see him at a different angle, that's what I did.
Also, Sketchy again in the chat. Hi, Sketchy again.
Oh, Sketchy.
Asking,
Sketchy.
I noticed one of Psychobos's mechanical arms looks similar to the arms of Dards. Was that designed after Dards 1 or vice versa? So I drew Dards first. And the Psychobos thing is supposed to be like Mad Ben's dimension, just like scrap stuff. But I did intentionally give them like a little bit of the same like look to their tech, so that it's like, oh yeah, Psychobos worked on this specifically. But yeah, no, the main body of Dards is a mixture of, based off of the contest winners design, is like a Vilgax drone, and then the I forget the name of the thing from Omniverse that we said is like an R100.
What does Dart stand for?
Oh gosh, I can't remember. Give me 2 seconds. Let me pull up the video. It's in the video.
Mrs.
Don't do that. Don't do that to me. I can't. It's my Wi-Fi is slow.
I mean, he'll
There's
be on the
some-
wiki.
I still want the thing.
Okay.
1 second. The roost
One thing I
movement.
did notice is like, so you did this pass on Dards when he's shown from a far away shot, but when you see him up close, he's an edited version of the Horus model that I drew. But one thing I did notice was an inconsistency, which I didn't notice till it was too late. Two actually is you drew the dots down like nostrils, where as I have them up here, but also he's smiling, whereas I drew Dards just as like a very neutral face.
Yeah,
But I mean, he could be smiling because he says good evening. You know, he's
It's like,
still
"Good evening."
Horus.
Yeah, that programming is still in there.
Yeah.
Let's see. DARD stands for the defective unit automatically reprogrammed to disassemble and survive, which is a funny coincidence that the
Right.
S is survive.
Thank you for the question, Shiny. That was excellent.
Okay.
I mean, sketchy.
Now that your eavesdropping has made you a liability,
Small thing, but you know, having all of the different elements move at different speeds really makes him look super three-dimensional.
It looks so good, dude.
Thank you.
Dards, and I use this term loosely. Kill it.
So this walk cycle is the first thing I ever animated with Dards, and when I feel like I could have done better.
I think it looks really good.
Thank you. I feel like it looks good when we get to this shot right here, where it's like that big hallway. But this initial shot, I don't know. I feel like there's a little bit of a timing difference. Also in this shot, I used the wrong Horus body. He has his tentacle back. This is the original Horus body. And it's because I needed the doors to wiggle, and I could have sworn I did a version of Forus with his door chambers movable. But if I did... I guess I just wasn't paying attention. What's up?
Additional detail too. His two little dots on the blue are on the wrong side. He doesn't have dots on that angle.
Oh no.
they're
Oh
supposed
yeah,
to be
you're
on-
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I flipped it. Okay, yeah. So I just use.
Wait, no. Wait, so it was, hey, Rob fucked up on the which asset? Horace's response, of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Sorry, Horace. God.
But also that's showing that his teleporter doesn't work
Yeah.
still.
I do like his walk cycle with his head though, because his head is kind of like wobbling back and forth as he's
Yeah.
walking, because he's all sloppy and like this big
It
like
looks so
freaky
good.
Muppet.
Plus you did all the Taurus eye stalks or whatever still also like jostle their own way and everything.
Yeah.
It looked so good, man.
No, he was a whole thing.
Also, actually, another detail: the fucking reflections. That I didn't know you were gonna do
Oh,
that
yeah.
at all, and it looked so good.
Thank you, because he does. It was literally just because of the one shot later on where he looks himself in the reflection. I wanted to set that up sort of by like you already seeing like this surface is reflective. The one
It's
thing
so
though is his claw coming into frame doesn't have a reflection,
It's quick. It's
but
fine.
yeah. And then it turns it off, and then he comes in and he's like grabbing at you.
What has he done?
Yeah, this entire
to
ending
you?
scene I animated in like a haze of caffeine and Adderall at like 1 in the morning. But we got through it.
What has he done to you?
And yeah, you can see the different like brush textures,
Yeah.
like because I feel like And Beyond though is strangely like fine with
mixed
having
media,
so
kinda,
many different
yeah.
things. Like even this character right here has 2 different brushes, but he looks all right just because of the nature of And Beyond, and
Yeah.
even like his thing here. And I voice Dards, by the way, in case y'all didn't know. We were gonna have you do it, but between you doing Forrest, the Cybot, Zascare, and at one point we
And-
even considered you for Psychobos. I was like,
Yeah.
it's gonna start feeling too symmetrical. So I wanted to
Well, not
voice
just
Darts just to break
symmetrical.
them up.
I feel like two people would be like, well, Ryan always said he wanted to be a voice actor. Is he just like trying to force that at this point? Type
Oh,
of
I
vibe?
mean,
And I'm like,
if you
It
got
would've
the
been purely
chops
for-
for it, sure. I felt like we needed something to break it up a little bit.
no, that's the thing. I don't want to be every fucking character in this at all. As is
Doing just Horace fucking kills
Yeah,
me.
but you're him, you're Zeke,
Doing
you're
this
Addy.
voice.
Yeah. Oh, I am Ed Waycheck.
Yeah,
God
you
damn it,
are.
I
And if
forgot.
you voice Psychobos too, that'd be so funny. You're just every.
To be fair, the Psychobo sample I did does sound pretty decent.
It does sound pretty good. It does sound pretty
Yeah.
good because
And-
there was
and I use the term.
there was like a brief like 48-hour scare where we weren't even sure if we could get David back after the scheduling fell through with Eric. We were just like, well, shit, if we don't have Eric anymore, like, do you think David will come back? We're like, in case he doesn't, what do we do?
Yeah,
'Cause
no,
we're
that's-
too deep. We have to do the Psychobo scene.
See that's a thing too, which another little like behind the scenes it got cut because things happening, whatever. In that like 48-hour haze, like when we were trying to decide what to do, that's how we came up with the lore thing for Kyber that we're gonna do something with later.
Yeah.
Is that we almost switched out Psychobos for a different character because
Oh, yeah.
because I can do a better impression of the other character than I can of Psychobos.
It wasn't even going to be Psychobos. So I was like, man, you already started drawing all the Psychobos assets.
Yeah,
We can't
I
start
already
from
was
scratch.
halfway through the puppet, and I'm like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
You even at one point, you were like, we're just gonna change Psychobos's colors and say he's a
Yeah,
different
I was like,
character.
what
I'm
if we just
no!
hue shifted him, removed
No.
the symbol, and he's just a different character? Like he's
It
just
would've
not.
been-
He's just a crab,
look,
you know. Like
I
I
would
was
have
on
been
that
more
side.
upset with that. I would have been more upset. I would have been more. I was more willing to just change the character and draw.
Then just
completely
hue
new
shifting
thing.
him and taking the symbol away, and
It's too. It literally is. I designed him to be Psychobo. He's got the one big claw. Like it would have been like too similar to not
Right.
be Psychobos. People would have been pissed.
we had a big debate about it, but luckily David was like, no, yeah, I can still do it, and we were like, oh,
thank you,
thank you, David.
Oh my god, like he did fantastic too.
He did so good. He did so good.
We are improved. We are strong. We are deaf.
Yeah, so his name is Darts, but he considers himself deaf because that's all he can really register. Is like he's a whole bunch of resurrected Horuses, and he was made to kill. So like all he lives and breathes like murder in a way. So he's just like, I'm deaf.
I'd hardly call this an improvement. You probably can't even fly anymore. You're just a cerebrocrustacean scrap pile.
Wow, my feelings.
And then he's scanning.
So all of these scannings are the same as the lizard world, except now we have a tentacle impaired too. Because every time he teleported, he'd receive a different injury. But now he can't teleport anymore. His chamber's broken.
I will say, too, something I just thought of myself that I didn't even consider when we were writing it and stuff. With Dards kind of, like, making the decision to let him go and everything, he, in a sense, is not... he's not, in the same sense, evolved like how Forrest is. But he is, like, five cerebrocrustate. Sorry, I can't talk. He's 5 computing powers of 5 different Horuses all together. So I feel like he is a bit more self-aware himself as well, considering he has that moment of reflection in the screen and like thinking about his own existence. Because now he's got the brain power of 5 different Horus all together to compute that. So he would be more aware than a regular Horus would as well.
Yep. Yeah, he's sort of taken the evil route of well, not evil, but just a more against his will route of becoming sentient. So these are the 2 smartest Horuses in the Prime universe. One was experimented on to become this way, and the other became this way just by circumstance, I guess. Forrest was kind of just thrown into all these crazy scenarios.
It's a mix of things with Forrest.
Also,
sorry, one last thing, because Kenem said a thing in the chat that I think is funny.
Yeah.
Hue shifting. So he was almost Psychobos 23 instead of Prime Psychobos that died in the desert. That would have actually been more. That would have worked. Because we could have done a different voice for
the thing is with
Psychobos,
Psychobos, because we do our own takes on character voices all the time. But with ones where they have a very specific voice, we feel like we'd have to honor that. So like, we didn't want to just give even if we did Psychobos 23, it would come with the expectation that it sounds at least kind of similar to which I feel like you could probably done. Like your test version probably could have been a Psychobos 23.
Yeah, that would have been
funny-ish. Yeah,
but
certain characters, like when we were doing Zim and 5YL, it was just like,
or Kyber.
They have to sound like this. Yeah, or Kyber too.
We got lucky with Kyber.
Yeah, other aliens like Humongosaur and Way Big, we're just like, they can sound like whatever. It doesn't matter.
Generic big monster man.
Yeah.
Analysis indicates that you mutually qualify as scrap pile. Your authority on our assessment is invalid.
Maybe, but I'm free to be whatever scrap pile I want to be. You don't have to listen to that setback seafood platter.
Horus units are meant to take orders. The plumbers ordered our post on apoplexia.
So, I like this little shot where you can see like his 2 sides kind of reflected. That was actually accidental. That's literally just because of logical circumstance, but there's like kind of meaning to it too.
Thematically, it works too because he's
so
self-reflecting. Plus, a detail as well. It says the plumbers sanctioned them to go to apoplexia. In apoplexia, Kyber had that thing of 5 more units acquired. So this is those 5 units he acquired before the last one.
Yeah.
With no regard for our pending destruction, Dr. Psychobos recycled us, giving us a new purpose. So now we serve him.
So here's an instance of, I mean, one way to look at it, to put it simply, is just me making this more complicated than it needed to. But originally, we rewrote this ending scene so many times. There's so many versions of it. Forrest was gonna convince Dars to change sides because he was just like, "Do you really want to work for a cerebrocrustacean?" And Dards'
like,
like inner galvanic programming would kick in. That's where the joke earlier would tie in with like the big meaty. Where
but
he
this was
just,
too
like,
nice of a this is a really cool serious scene, and we don't do a lot of serious scenes in and Beyond. So,
I felt like it would be, for one, that would kind of just being like Dards like gets his victory just through prejudice, which was kind of fucking wild. But also like Forrest genuinely convincing Dards to let him go through a heart to heart would also emphasize like he is different from the other Horaces. Like we've said it, like Psychobo said it, and he evaluated himself in the lizard world, but this is him doing something a Horus couldn't do if he didn't have this conscious programming. This is proving like, yes, he feels this. He can relate to people. He has empathy. He has emotional intelligence. So I was like, let's redo this scene to really hit home. Like Forrest is different. He is someone else. But it would have been fucking funny as hell if we were just like,
dude, it's like
you don't want to work for the crabs, too. And he was just like, your assessment. Well, and I probably still have the original scene somewhere. Hold on.
It's that what is it? It's that scene from Lion King of Mufasa in the clouds. Remember who you are, but it's
Remember who you are. Racist.
Yeah, right. It's like
he's like, fuck, you're right.
Yeah, that angle plus the horse thing. There was two different like very significant angles where we were just like, we can't do this.
Yeah, no, I love this take so much more, and it just
I can't find it. I'll try
what,
to
just
find
the
it
script?
eventually. Yeah, I was trying to find, because I copied the script before we changed it so that I can refer to it in the future. I was like, here's what we were gonna do, and then we were like, that's a bad idea.
It is.
I can't find it. It was a lot shorter too. It was literally just like 2 sentences, whereas here Forrest has this whole introspective.
Maybe it doesn't have to be this way. Horus units were made to learn, to explore, to bring the universe closer together. We may be built to be temporary, but as a collective, we all make a difference. The education we record is used to help the people of the universe survive. And if you don't let me go, then no one is going to survive.
Huh?
This is also Forrest, like, if you can hear it in the tone of his voice. This is him like convincing himself and realizing this himself as he's saying it, because the existential inhibitor thing, that's part of why he would glitch before. It's like, I don't want to die, but him not having the inhibitor and having to think about like, if I get destroyed, it's like, maybe it's okay to be temporary. Like it's
yeah, he's figuring this out himself for the first time. He doesn't just know this. It's like he's deducting this assessment as he's talking to Dards about it. So it's one thing to convince Dards, and it's another, he's just like, I feel like I finally understanding who I am now and what my purpose is.
You've been given a second chance. By a mad scientist, sure, but you can be something greater than a scrap pile.
God,
Yeah.
it's so
If you look at this little wire right here too, even that's reflected.
God. See, I didn't know about this reflection bit at all. You just did this, and like it's so good.
Thank you.
By a mad scientist, greater than a scrap pile.
He sees himself, he was just like, I don't want to be a scrap pile. Now this part right here I love, and it was completely accidental, where it looks like he's gonna hurt Forrest, but then he moves aside and sees this. So what happened was I animated the background without Forrest in it at all, and then when I was putting Forrest in the scene, I realized he's in front of the freaking panel, like he's in the way. So I was like, I tried to play it off where it was just like, it looks like Dards is about to stab him, but no, it turns out he's letting him free, and I feel like that added an extra element to the moment. But it's also just because I didn't freaking block out the scene to account for the fact that Horse was here. If I knew, I would have had this whole sequence pushed over a little bit, but yeah.
No. I like it too because like Forrest not like knowing if he's gonna get stabbed or not, it kind of adds to the thing of like, you can be more than a scrap pile. You can be what you want to. If you want to kill me, that is still your choice.
Yeah. Like, what if Darts
I
didn't
might
listen?
still die
He was
here.
just like, no. Yeah, so I actually really love how it played out, but I'm not gonna lie, it was an accident.
The one thing I would have played to like play this bit up a bit more is a bit of a dramatic like build before he does the arm at him.
Well,
Like,
that's
it's
what I
like
tried to do with the
almost like-
reflection.
No. I'm saying like a music cue.
Oh.
Like having like a little like swell right here that just goes back into the normal music after he stabs.
Oh, yeah. We would have
Like
need
a
Noxie to compose something specific. But maybe we can do that next time. Here's another animation error. Horace, like, he flies into here too fast. See how he, like, freaking wakes up?
He's like, oh shit, I'm fucking.
Yeah, that should have taken longer. I should have spaced out the keyframes more, but it was like 1 in the morning. I wasn't even alive. There we go. But they do get darker when this thing opens. I did account for that.
Go.
And then another animation.
Yeah,
error.
God,
His
no, I
legs are
saw
in
this
front of
one.
his body. Yeah, his
I
legs are
saw
in
this
front of his
one
body.
in the premiere, and I was like, "Oh God, no!"
Yeah,
But no one has
noticed.
commented.
No one said
Like, I don't
anything.
think anyone noticed.
No, because they're busy looking at him because he's floating and jiving and all of that. But no, his body should be in front of these legs.
Yeah.
We are not organic.
Oh yeah, thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother.
We are not organic. We are not siblings.
Kinda ruined the moment, but okay.
And that whole part was added in also because you gave me the brain open. He was just gonna fly off.
You're letting him get away! What are you doing?
And this part, I'm so glad you went with it. Because I wasn't
Yeah,
sure.
no, because this was your suggestion, and I love it so much.
Yeah. Well, we
final
did
line.
we did have a little bit of a debate on whether or not he should also say "Are you?" Because originally it was just the
Surviving.
and that would be
And
it.
then it was gonna cut. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we're like, fuck
Are
it.
you?
Yeah. And at one point we were thinking about cutting that, but I just felt, I was like, no, it's such a good callback. We got to keep it.
Dude, so many people in the live premiere were like freaking out, like, "Oh my God, he said the thing!
He said
He
the
said
thing,
the
right?
thing!" I was like,
It's so
what's
good.
funny is this is the one Horus unit that I don't voice.
Yeah,
So
I
I
know,
didn't
right?
even
I got to
say
say, we gotta
You said
come
my
up with through
fucking
some
line.
type of elaborate, crazy situation just to get
Where
you
I
to
say
voice
keep
a
it
character
fizzy.
to say "keep it fizzy." Yeah,
Yeah,
we gotta
no.
do that, man. We gotta have you say "keep it fizzy."
We'll have something in 5 Whale at some point where Phil is like, "Oh, do you want to drink? You gotta keep it fizzy, man. Like,
Yeah, right. Yeah, it could
you
just be
can't
like-
drink." It's like, no, drink. Here's a drink. I'll drink it later. No. You got to keep it fizzy.
Yeah,
Enjoy it while,
you gotta
while
have
it
it now.
is.
Keep it fizzy. Oh, it's so good.
Surviving. Are you?
It looks. God, I love that moment so much, dude.
Me too. It came out so well. And also we did record a lot of audio of David dying as Dr. Psychosis.
Yeah. Okay.
But
So
I
yeah.
felt like it would ruin the dramatic
Pacing.
punch.
Yeah.
But I'll play for y'all right now, just because it was really good. It was pretty.
It
funny.
is really funny.
Yeah.
That was. I think with that too. That was before we did the rewrite. It was gonna be the, Forrest being like "Oh, you're gonna listen to a crab," and then he's like, "Oh, fuck that shit." Like
yeah, and then he just kills Dr.
that's-
Psychobos. This is
Yeah,
a much stronger
and that-
ending.
Yeah, it's better like this.
No,
But here's some funny
no,
crab.
No!
So that's a standard one.
No!
It's so good.
No!
That would have been the one.
That's the one
if
I
we
would have
did it.
used. But I just,
Yeah,
for
it's so
one,
good.
it felt like it would have like kind of like killed the punch, but also because the last thing Dard says is a question. He says like, "Are you?" And him saying like, "No," it's almost like he's answering the question, and I felt like that would be weird. So it's just like.
Plus, then having Psychobos.
No.
And then I can add in like a flamethrower sound effect. I don't know, maybe it could have worked, but I feel like it undermines the.
I think it works better.
Yeah, I feel like Dards needed the last line.
Now, the thing too is like if we had the screaming and implied death, then having him do the outro would make it even weirder.
This is Dr. Psychobos gracing your.
Yeah, so this is Dr. Psychobos telling you to give us money. And it's also kind of a because I knew I've been seeing well before this episode just people's curiosity and concern of like where the scare arc's going to lead. And we did the
how long it's getting drug out.
We did the Anur arc. What was it?
Like 3 or 4 years ago.
The Anur episode dropped October 31st, 2020.
God,
over 4 years ago. And that episode was conceptualized a year before that. So I felt like no matter what, like I know we did the 4-planet fake out, which, you know, we took a gamble with, it was what it was. But regardless of before I even knew how people would feel about that, I felt like if we did one more as a scare tease, we need to tell people regardless, like, this is it. Like, I promise you, we're almost done. We need to let them know, like, direct, like, not even imply it. We need to tell them firsthand, like, flash that shit on screen. Don't worry. It's going to
next
end
one
next
is the
episode.
End.
It's fine.
Now, with that, though, the next one is the end of the story, but it is not the end of And Beyond.
Correct.
We are going to still do stuff with And Beyond. It is just the end of the story because we don't want to keep dragging it out.
Yeah.
Because the story has gone through so many rewrites and, like, last-minute changes, and then us realizing, like, oh, because of this thing we did, we actually can't do this, so we need to do this instead, and da-da-da.
Yeah.
Just know there is a plan now. Now that we're at the last episode
there was a plan.
of it.
It's just like the plan had to evolve. A lot of it was just over circumstance. Like if the version of the thing that we wrote was executed within the time frame we thought, it would have been what it was. But, you know, as years pass, people's living situations change, our actor availability changes, our skills change and evolve, so it prompts us to want to, like, you know, if we set the bar, we can that's my one rule is we can never lower the bar. We can set a bar, we can stay at the same quality level, but we can never dip because that feels too much. And with And Beyond, we kept setting the bar more and more and more. We kept pushing it. And now it's like we can't go back. You know, imagine if we put out an episode after this with the
like
same
Terradino.
Quality as like Terradino, you know, that'd be fucking nuts. Like we just can't do that. But with this, one thing I do want to say, I don't know. I feel like this is the appropriate environment for it. Like an episode breakdown is that the season 2 of And Beyond was always going to end with the Zascare arc. But due to the extending production of it, we are wrapping it up a lot quicker. Yeah, that's why this one was so heavy. Originally, season 2 was written to be 10 episodes, just like the first season. And you would get a little bit here and there about what we were going to do. But then it's getting to a point, especially with the other projects we have going on, with the main channel and Five Whale and everything. It was like at this point, we're like, if we do it this way, it's gonna be next to impossible, or if we did do it, it would take too long. So I feel like we need to prioritize the Zascare arc and end it here, or else it's either never gonna get done, or it's you know, it would take too long. So there is the reason this episode feels a little bit too strongly in the direction of the story is just because, like, you know, the meta reason, like, yes, we get it. Like, y'all want to see where this is going. So let's hit the gas. Let's go full throttle. Enough little sprinkles here and there. Let's just do it. Let's just fucking do it. Here's the scare arc. And the next episode is going to be the scare, the big finale. It's going to be the collection of what it was all leaving. It's going to be pretty epic, I'm not going to lie. And it's going to be very, very plot driven. So, you know, buckle up. I mean, it's
a lot.
It's going to be and beyond, but it's not going to be like anything you've seen before.
No.
It's going to be the most different episode you've ever seen. And then we're going to return to form and just keep doing and beyond. But, you know, we got to tell Zeke it's time. You know, he's been waiting in the dressing room. He's like, "Is it time yet?" And it's just like, "All right, come on out, man. Here it is. The stage is yours."
When do we get to my episode?
Yeah. Any expected release date? It will be 2025. Just, you know, there's no way it's coming out this year. Yeah.
Oh, no. It comes out before the end of the month.
Before the end, yeah. We've actually had it in the works the whole time. In fact, if you want to see a quick preview here, let me... no, Jesus. So I mean, it's going to be next year, definitively. And, you know, next year, Five Whale is going to end, and Beyond's the scare arc is going to end. It's truly going to be the end of an era. So after that, you know, and Beyond will become much more in line of its skeleton, where
the episodic,
and we're gonna explore other franchises. It was always our plan to explore other franchises, but we just found so much love and support with Ben 10 episodes, and you know, with the Zeke arc tying it together, it evolved into this like amazing like lore building, like celebration of the Ben 10 universe.
Celebration of everything in the universe aside from
right. Yeah. So it was nothing negative. Like I don't feel like we went the wrong direction with the show. It wasn't intended to be the Ben 10 show, and it became a Ben 10 show. So after the Zeke arc, you know, we're gonna try to return to form and explore other worlds, and then, you know, Five Whale will be over, so we'll be doing other stuff there. But if you'd like to see how that's going, you know, as y'all are your patrons and members, as you're viewing this, we might put the stream public. So if you're watching this after the live, and we did end up putting this episode out, you know, if you want to know what's going on, join the Patreon and YouTube members. We have weekly updates on what's happening every Monday or Tuesday, sometimes Tuesday, depending on the time zone you're in. But we have weekly updates. We do streams like this the first and third Saturday, just diving into our work. And then if you're tier 2 or higher, you can see my video diary series where you get a lot more in depth of what we're doing and how it works and where we're at with the story. But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. This has been fun trudging through this episode of And Beyond. It was quite the beast to conquer making it. Do you have any closing remarks?
I will say, as much of a beast of this episode was to make, I feel as though with And Beyond we have hit a production, how would I word this? A production flow, because doing something like this before would take like at least 6 months. But this episode I started working on it, I think, in like August. And
yeah, we kind of killed it this time.
Yeah, we got the whole thing done in less than 2 months.
We got 3 episodes of And Beyond out this year. Like, if you think about that, and they're probably like the highest quality of And Beyond we did too. We did 3 fucking bangers.
Apoplexia was 2 months. Aegis Orbit was like 2.5 to 3 months, because I started that in November and then we put it out in like April. What was it? Plus, with this production, the production of this episode was only 2 months. We also did the 3 episodes of Five Whale in October.
Yep.
And then
Drawing Matrices too.
Drawing Matrices, Lil X Big D. Like, we did a bunch. We've done so much content in just the last 2.5 months. It's so much.
And it's crazy. So I feel like see, like, not to vent too much, but like when folks just look at the breakdown specifically and they're just like, oh, we're not uploading as much. I'm just like, man, look at all this other stuff we're doing.
We have so much stuff we're doing.
We're getting the orders in. I mean, I'm trying, man. I'm sorry.
And we still are. We got through this month too. I got Reboot Ultimates coming up the end of this month. Check out the video, please. It is the last Ultimates I'm doing. I swear to God.
This has been the craziest year for the Ink Tank if you really think about it. The stuff we've
I did an Ultimate Alien X.
You did Ultimate Alien X, and that shit was puppeted by Crystal. We had a voice sequence with it. Like it's
so much. Oh my God. So much has happened.
And
this
all
year.
of that is on top of like our personal lives, and that on top of like some things we got cooking. It's a maze.
Yeah.
It's a maze.
It's
a
so,
maze.
I will say, because I know we're a production company. We're labeled as a production company. This year, though, like feels like the full-on chugging engine. We are a production company. Like, we're getting stuff done.
Yeah, no, this has been fun. So 2025 is going to be like our grand finale to all of the natural things, and then I'll finish the breakdowns eventually. Like if it takes me until I'm freaking 40, I'll do it. Like I'm going to do the breakdowns, but like if we're doing stuff like this, I'm not going to prioritize the breakdowns. I'm going to be straight with you. Like I'd rather be doing this, but
if you take too long with the breakdowns, they're going to make another fucking show, and
they're going to make another show. I'm going to have more breakdowns to do. And I'll do it. I will.
Welcome to the second reboot of Ben.
I'm going to do it. I have
fucking
to.
Hell.
So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna finish the breakdowns. I will. They're never gonna be no matter how long it takes. I'm going to finish the breakdowns. But I will always put something like this in front of it.
Gosh, yeah, no,
yeah. I don't want any ambiguity there. I'm telling y'all right now, if we're doing this stuff, I'm gonna put the breakdowns on hold for a bit. But they will eventually get done. They will eventually get done. They're not canceled. But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. We'll be seeing y'all again for our second and final Patreon membership stream of the year, which looks like it's going to be the 20th. December 20th will be the last exclusive stream of the year. Maybe we'll just do something
Christmas.
fun. Yeah, maybe we'll just do something
it's right
fun.
before Christmas.
Yeah, but we'll see y'all then.
I will say, I was going to say as well, if y'all are in the Houston, Texas area this weekend, or even right now, go see Kellen at NostalgiaCon.
Yeah,
and
go see Kellen.
I'm gonna be wandering around there tomorrow as well. So you might bump into an Ink Tank Boys there if you're going. So yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll send you my love from across the world. And as always, keep it fizzy.